And we are live. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone that is out there in the internet world. What's up? Philip here with Points of Philip. It's over that way. And then we have a guest here. We have Daniel. Daniel, how's it going?
It's going good, man. Other than the weather being absolutely sunny outside yet freezing, all is well. I got my first mailer in the history of me being in the points and miles game, so
Nice.
excited about that. But otherwise, yeah, I'm ready to have an amazing discussion. We have a lot of really cool things to talk about. Interesting conversations are about to be had, so I'm excited to hear what the people watching have in store for us as far as their contributions, and just
Yes.
ready.
It's going to be a good one. We're going to talk about getting stuck with American Express. And I know a lot of people, they like to talk about American Express. And when they talk about American Express, they usually talk about like pop-up jail or they talk about membership reward points. But I don't think very many people have talked about getting stuck. What does that mean? At least, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to getting stuck, it could be getting stuck with like any issuer. It could be American Express, it could be Chase. There's a couple things in my mind or in my brain that I gravitate towards when I think of my journey with American Express and how my entire ecosystem right now is with American Express. All my member reward points, all of my Hilton Gold, all of my Marriott Gold. Like, there's a lot of benefits that American Express offers, oftentimes complimentary. As we know, that's not true because we pay for our benefits. But I feel like the one thing that sticks out to me that's keeping me in American Express is the benefits that the ecosystem provides. What they did with the Platinum card, I find it very difficult to switch away from the Platinum card to another issuer where it's a similar elevated card. The only thing I can think of is having both, but I think you and I both know that in a lot of instances, a lot of the viewers are not in that life where they have 4 to 6 premium travel credit cards. A lot of times we have to pick maybe one or two. I'm in that boat where I have two premium travel cards, the Platinum and the Venture X. And I find it very difficult to touch Chase in any way with any of their offerings because of the benefits that American Express is offering me.
Yeah,
That's number
that's a
one. What are your thoughts?
yeah. So I got it. So when you first cut, I think you first brought up this topic during our last live last weekend, and I was
Mhm.
very intrigued because it's kind of true. I definitely spend a lot of time in American Express, and I couldn't figure out kind of why because I did a video, I think it was August, where I was talking about wanting to put all of my spend on Capital One because I was trying to get a credit limit increase from them, and I figured I might as well just actually try to start putting spend behind different ecosystems. And as hard as I tried, and I did legitimately try, I couldn't do it. I definitely did use the venture card quite a bit. And I definitely continue to use a venture card. Hopefully, sometime soon, my wife will end up actually doing the application for the Venture X. But yeah, the gold card, the platinum card, they're always in my wallet. And of course, I'm rocking the classic gold. I couldn't do the rose gold or the white gold for that one.
Mhm.
But it's it's such a solid earner, and it's expensive, right? I know Luke a couple of months ago referred to it as a full time job or even a part time job, and it's like, yeah, like it is kind of a chore to kind of go through and figure out exactly you know what credits I need to use, but I like to think that I'm a little selective and that I don't try any of the cards that make it a little bit crazy. Like that's one of the reasons why I don't have the let's say the Delta Platinum card in my wallet right now because
Mhm.
that when I think about a monthly $10 Uber or rideshare credit, I'm like no, like I'm never going to use it. And so
Yeah.
if I got a card that it required me to do that sort of work, I feel like that would be too much. But I don't feel like the gold card or the platinum card are too much, at least compared to some of the other cards.
Yeah.
Would do you find it difficult to use the platinum card benefits?
Well, transparent for the users, I have two platinum cards.
That's
So
okay.
I
There you
have
go.
so in some cases, yes, it is complicated. In other cases, no, it's really not complicated. When it boils down to it, the thing that I love about the Platinum card is its simplicity, where Chase actually copied it to a certain extent where you can get direct points with hotels, direct points with flights. Back even a year ago, American Express was probably the only card that gives you 5x on flights directly. Like
Hmm.
it just makes it incredibly seamless when
Yeah.
I don't even have the American Express card in my wallet. If anybody does, you must be traveling or you must be at like a Lululemon or, a restaurant that's on Resi. But the thing that I like about the American Express ecosystem, specifically the Platinum card, is it's 1x on everything or 5x on flights, and it's just easy. You don't touch that card unless you're using it for a very specific reason, and that's booking for a flight. Now, I think where people get a little bit intimidated is, the benefits, if you will, where you specifically use your card in a way where you were trained not to use it. Like our
Mm.
multiplying points brain is like, I don't want 1x on Lululemon. But realistically,
Yeah.
something that I think we can ask our viewers, or as we continue talking about this, is I think when it comes to the simplicity or the complexity of American Express as an ecosystem, as an issuer, is people just need to wrap their head around the cost of membership, right? So all
Mm.
these benefits are free, but at the end of the day, like this card is 895, the gold is 325, the business gold is
Yeah.
375. Me personally, I don't care. Like I'm
All
I'm
right.
fine with paying that. Like the amount of value that you and I get from just simply using
Mm.
these cards, I don't
Yeah.
need benefits to justify having the card. Like the gold card by itself, I've gotten almost like 100,000 points this year. We're in a two-player
Absolutely.
system, but like a
Absolutely. Yeah.
100,000 points, not even using any of the credit or benefits, things like that, where I mean, it's almost like shameless of me to ask for a retention offer, knowing full well I've gone like 100 times the value, right? But
Yeah.
going back to like the simplicity and complexity, like I think there's a lot of intricacies to American Express that now every issuer is doing. I think when it boils down to it, like I live on the Uber Eats app, like where I work, there's at least 50 different places where I could just order for pickup on my lunch. So it's super simple. I think where things get interesting is like the Resi credits, the fine hotels and resorts credits, where
Hmm.
you have to start competing in regards to pricing with alternatives. So FHR versus just booking through Expedia, or FHR versus booking directly with Marriott or Hilton or wherever. I think this is where people like kind of choose not to cross the line, if that makes sense. I'm one of those
Yeah.
people where I think, like I said, these benefits are going to keep me in American Express for a very long time, but I'm just one of those people where I don't look at the benefits as a way to pay off my annual fee. I look at the benefits as a way to enable me to do the things that I'm already doing. So I
Yeah.
have the American Express card for Uber Eats, for I shop at Lululemon religiously. I'm on YouTube Premium. Like we're all on YouTube Premium at this point. So that's just the way that
Except
I
for
look at
Anthony
it. I don't know
Venture.
if you're similar. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you're on the same wavelength or if like that's kind of a similar thought process when it comes to like you and like card benefits in general.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I think the card benefits, it's like, so my uncle was he when I was growing up, he was a home builder in Winter Park, which is kind of a nice part of the city, and he was a member of the Winter Park Racket Club. And it was, I'm sure it was expensive. I don't know what the dollar amount was, but he viewed it, first of all, as a business expense of sorts, because in order to be able to build multi-million dollar homes, you have to, be able to know the people, do the stuff, right? And so he viewed that as a business expense, but then he also like got a bunch of other things, like, free tennis lessons for him and his kids and stuff. And so like all these things. And so it's like he bought into that particular membership. And when I worked at the Capitol Hill Club in Washington, D.C., these members, they pay, $1,600, or whatever to come here. And the benefits, they're not looking to get $1,600 worth of value, because part of it is to be there. part of it is to be in that room, be part of that club. And, for American Express, that essentially just means, I have access to the lounges and the clear and the TSA pre-check and all that stuff. And so, part of it is really, a great kind of situation where it's like, okay, if I'm approaching this from a membership perspective, which they kind of want you to because they're saying the membership rewards, right? It's baked into the cake. They want you to not think about all of the value stuff, but
Mhm.
it's the value is a great marketing tool because it allows a lot of people to say, okay, I can afford this. Whereas, like most people who have a platinum card, like specifically, paying $895 for any one item this is probably for most people that have the platinum card the single or the second or the third largest expense of the year for them. And
Mhm.
that's bad. That's not good budgeting. But yeah, no, I think it's easy to get value from, specifically because my wife and I have already started to get a lot of value from fine hotels and resorts and from Resi, because there's a lot of really good restaurants in Resi that aren't actually that expensive. Like we go to a place called the Ravenous Pig in or Ravenous, one of the two, in Winter Park again, and they actually it's for when we go all out, so like appetizers, desserts, between my wife and I, it's usually like $80-$90 for like a serious date night. And so getting, prepaying for one serious date night every quarter, if that's what I'm doing, is not a bad situation for me, because it's like if I have like a tight month or something, I'm still doing that date night, because if I don't, then I'm just losing it, right? I'm not losing out on anything by going to it. I'm losing out by not going to it. And so I definitely think the benefits are easy to use. The one thing that continuously have not been able to get value from is the Saks credit. Like I've been able to buy things, but they rarely fit me. But I've had to return them, and of course they charge you to return them. And so like
Yeah.
yeah. And then 3 months later, I mean, American Express snatched that credit back up. So, I guess I'm just gonna have to start being like everybody else and get like an expensive hand soap once every 6 months.
I was gonna say, let me put you on game because they have those not humidifiers, but it's just like it's like a scent, and then you put little like sticks in it. It's $60 and it lasts
Diffusers,
3 months.
yeah,
Diffusers, exactly.
there you
That's
go.
what I got. I have two platinum cards, so I got two of them boys. And dude, my bathroom smells phenomenal. Like, forget about hand soap. I tried last time I did like a face cream, and it's literally sitting like up there on the kitchen counter because I've never touched it. It was
Yeah,
like a $75 hand cream, and I kid you not, it's literally like this big. And I was like, I will use that in like three goes because my face is dry. Um, but yeah, I mean, when you compare the benefits of like American Express and other issuers, I think it's incredibly difficult to ever jump ship. And I think this is kind of like
hmm,
where there's two different types of people, where
yeah,
there's people like you and me, where we value, like, what do you value, right? Sign up bonuses is probably incredibly valued in the credit card community.
hmm,
Sign on bonuses, essentially, like in our words, it justifies any card for the first year because you get more than what
yeah,
you invest. It's always year
absolutely,
two, which is where you have to start reconsidering. And I think this is kind of what we're talking about, where we're not talking about sign on bonuses. We're talking about year two. So we're talking
right,
about after you've already used all your points, after you've already like got all of your quarterly credits and things like that. There's still a lot of things that goes into people's minds on, am I keeping this card or am I getting rid of this card?
right,
And I think American Express is very difficult to get rid of, regardless of how much that annual fee is, because of what it's able to offer.
yeah, exactly,
So,
yeah. And it is funny because I got a lot of cards this year, two of which were the business gold card and the business platinum card. And I originally just picked them up because, huge sign up bonus, 150,000 points for the business gold, 250,000 points for the business platinum. And yeah, there we go. And it's just the problem is there's actually a pretty good value proposition for both of those cards, because
Hmm.
especially with the Fine Hotels and Resorts credit on the business platinum now, it's a lot easier. They killed the Dell credit. It's no longer as good. There's no reason for me to use the Adobe credit unless I continue to do Adobe stock or something like that. Just because as a teacher, I already get the much cheaper version per year of the Adobe Creative Suite. And I probably could get away with not using it just because I don't use it to its fullest potential. But I'm not hiring anybody on Indeed. But between the hotel credits, between the 2x on purchases over $5,000, it's definitely worth keeping in my wallet. And then $150 a year off of Dell, things like, yeah, sure, I'll get an extra light for the
Hmm.
studio, once a year or
Yeah.
something like that. And so it's just that's actually becoming a pretty interesting card. The only thing I hate
Yeah.
about the business platinum card is you don't get 5x on airfare direct. So you do have to have the actual personal platinum card too, which is frustrating.
I have a business platinum mailer. I just talked to you about it. I got a business
Yeah.
platinum mailer literally like on the side table, just waiting for me to apply to this business platinum. But I think
What's
that's kind
the
of
point
where
amount?
250. I was
Oh
hoping
yeah,
it would
that's a
be
good
like
one.
300.
I
I've heard
know.
about 300. I was like, give Daniel 300. But see, this is kind of where I'm in a similar boat, but I'm also like on the other side of the fence where it's very difficult for me to have this business platinum aside from the welcome
Yeah,
offer. Like the way
true.
that I'm viewing this is I have a big purchase at the end of the year and I need a hammer to essentially just
Yeah.
get this done, and then I'll worry about paying it off. But like it's kind of like a one and done for this business platinum for me if I were to ever get it, and I use it as a way to kind of just like refresh my points.
Hmm.
Um and
I get that.
I think that's another reason why I will never leave American Express because of the ability to just constantly get points like almost out of nowhere. Like it
Hmm.
goes far beyond like not only is the American Express ecosystem like in my humble honest opinion and sometimes dishonest, but my humble honest opinion, I feel like there's no point earning ecosystem that's better than American Express unless you
Hmm.
have 15 city custom caches or you have a bunch of like Chase Ink cash and you're playing the gift card game. Like when it comes down to it, like
Yeah.
pound for pound, like if you had one of each card, if you could only have one of each card, I don't think that there's anything better than
No.
American
Yeah.
Express from like an earning standpoint. And that's
Absolutely. Yeah.
for retention offers, that's upgrade downgrade strategy. Like there's no other ecosystem that has that. So
No. Yeah. 100%. And I talked to the rewards master. Great guy, slightly misguided in some ways, but no. Anyway, so he was telling me about the city. The city ecosystem is good for people who spend a lot, and it has to be good for people that spend a lot because it's not good for people looking for sign up bonuses. And it is, but you just the secret end of that sentence is you have to have a crap ton of custom caches in order to make it as a big spender. And you have to be the kind of person that has a lot of spend, is willing to deal with bad customer service, but then also is able to get out the label maker and say, okay, I've spent enough on this card. I need to start using another card. I don't feel like there's a lot of overlap between those three groups.
mhm.
But American Express, like the gold card, I would rather get a reliable 4x on dining every day than 6x on Friday and Saturday and 3x everywhere else. Because my wife and I, we abhor crowds, so we're not going to go out to eat on a Saturday night at 7 o'clock. It's just we're not the kind of people that wait in line. We're not the kind of we just like, if we have a reservation, great, but otherwise we ain't doing it. And so I love the gold card, and it is kind of the goat of the earning situation. The Blue Business Plus card, it was funny. So I was listening to Matt Clausen's I forgot what the name of their podcast is, and they were talking about how he's frustrated about not having a personal catch-all with American Express. There really isn't. which is kind of frustrating.
Hmm.
It would have been nice if the Platinum card got caught a 1.5x or something, but the Blue Business Plus, it kind of sucks that they give it to you, but you have to have a business card, and there's a limit on it too. Which is
Hmm.
you know yeah, and Denver has a good point. The city prestige is nice, and that is kind of the goat. But if you
Yeah.
don't have the city prestige, if you're someone like me who kind of came into the game a little late, there's it's very difficult to beat the gold card, and then coupled with the Blue Business Plus, and then throw in the airfare, with the platinum card. It's a good life.
Yeah, man. I was looking at what points I'm going to be getting at the end of, where you can look at points earned in the
Mm,
last 30 days or
yeah,
like points pending. Like I'm going to have another like almost 40,000 points after I pay off my bills at
nice.
the end of the month, and
That's
it's
amazing.
it's absolutely obscene. But I mean, I'm in a little bit of a specialized scenario because we're playing a two-player strat, but with one ecosystem right now. So
Hmm.
we essentially have two people spending on one card, or in this case, all of my cards. But I mean, I would definitely agree with the gold. Like, there's no better feeling than getting 4x. There were times where we were in the middle of the upgrade downgrade strat, and I didn't have the gold card, so we had to use the green card. And getting 3x was just quite painful for a card that you have to pay like $155 for.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but I think it's also like important to note where yes, we're like talking very specifically about American Express, but I think what I kind of want to get the point I want to get across is there's people that probably have Chase, there's people that probably have Capital One, Wells Fargo, things like that. Like as you and I like continue this conversation, as we like continue engaging on all these strategies and best practices and things that we've learned, I think that they can take what we talk about American Express and find ways to kind of connect the dots with their own ecosystems.
Yeah.
So that way they can make their educated decisions and their educated inferences based off of the information that you and I are providing.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of points coming in, and my
Yeah.
Rakuten is still going to American Express. It could go to Built, but it's going to American Express, and it's like that for a
Okay.
reason.
Anthony Venture finally convinced me to go to build points for the next quarter, but
Yeah,
yeah, no, it's going back to MR points after that. All
of
right, let's
course.
go into. There has been a couple of really great points made in the chat, so we're gonna go ahead and catch up
Yeah.
on that. I just want to say thank you to J Rods for becoming a YouTube member. You're awesome. Dim is here. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you. Mike Newland is here. Where's the copyrighted music? I need to talk to Joe Barretto about who he got to do his theme song. Maybe we can get something else. I don't know if I could do something quite as catchy as Joe Barretto's "Wape a Man" song, but we'll figure something out.
Mhm.
Points of Philip on fire, like 20 videos a week. Yeah. Well, it's funny because whenever I'm actually off from my day job, I'm like have so much more time to actually make videos, and I'm like, yeah, let's just do this. It's what I'd rather do if I made a decent amount of money on YouTube. And
Mhm.
then we got Mike Newland. I thought I was at a doctor's office there for a minute. Yeah.
Elevator.
We'll definitely have to fix the music. Sorry about that, guys. Sleepy Rod, Mr. Rakuten, and Points of Phil. A good way to spend my Sunday. Thanks so much for being here,
There we
Sleepy
go.
Rod. We appreciate you. Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I love my Rakuten card. I can't even show you my Rakuten card because the thing hasn't shown up yet, but I'm already halfway done with my sign up bonus.
There
So
we
that's
go.
nice. Yeah. Mike Newland, I'm good with being stuck with Amex. It works in most situations. Exactly, right? It definitely seems to fit the bill. There's only been two places that I've seen that they specifically said we don't take American Express, and it was a
Mhm.
movie theater in Claremont, Epic Movie Theaters. I don't know if you're familiar or if there's. I think it's a regional chain, and then there was a small Chinese restaurant, just like the kind where it's just a little takeout thing. You walk in, there's a little kid doing
Cash
homework
only.
in the corner. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so that kind of those are the two places that I've seen so far, at least in my area, that haven't taken American Express. But yeah, most situations works pretty well. Interestingly enough, that movie theater does take Discover, but they don't take American Express. So
Mm.
uh, Calderds, 2 streams in 2 days. Yeah, I we had this one scheduled, and then Kirby kind of hit me up with some a really good idea, and I was like, yeah, we should do two. So it's been a fun weekend.
Why not?
Right? Dim says, which begs the question: if you could only be stuck with one ecosystem, which would it be and why? So I think we've kind of
Ah,
answered.
yeah.
Yeah.
Chase, 100%. I'd be stuck with
Yeah,
Chase
yeah,
forever.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Filmo, he convinced me, just only go with Chase. They'll never steer you wrong
Mhm.
whatsoever. Who was it? There was somebody that did a video recently about the Freedom Flex. And no, it was the Freedom Unlimited
Mm.
talking about the 1.5x and how, oh yeah, it was Rich with Points. He
Mhm.
was talking about how it can be better than a 2x card. And I think his main point was the 3x multipliers on pharmacies and on dining mean that it's a better option than, say, the Venture X or something, which was it, which was pretty interesting. I hadn't thought about it that way.
Yeah.
But if Chase didn't have Hyatt, I don't think they could get away with having a 1.5x very much for very long.
Yeah. The only reason why we got the Freedom Unlimited in our family, as I like to call it, is last year. That's where Chase did the we're gonna match you, so 1.5x additional on everything up until like the
Oh yeah.
first, like I think it was like $10,000 or like how
Mm,
first
yeah,
year or $10,000.
that's solid.
And at the exact same time, this was where my journey with Rakuten started. So Rakuten had a
Nice.
like a referral where you get like 30,000 member reward points for an approval, and my eyes just like popped out of my head.
Hmm.
But I mean, having a
Oh yeah.
3x catch-all, 4.5x on gross or on food, because groceries are not a thing. But I mean, we use
Yeah,
that card for virtually everything, and combined with the welcome offer, like we had so many points. It was actually insane. So
yeah,
there's some really cool things that you can do, but
yeah.
um,
I
to
gotta
like
talk
talk a
about
little bit
one
more.
card.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. I was gonna
So
say to talk about.
yeah, no, you go ahead. Yeah, you're good.
You mentioned something earlier where your friend said that the Freedom Unlimited is better based off of these categories. It's better than a 2x catch-all. And I was thinking the exact same thing with the American Express ecosystem, where if you think of
Mm,
like the law of averages, because of all the different types of points earnings that you can get at specific categories, if you use it correctly, this is regardless of whatever ecosystem you're in, you kind of don't need a 1x or you don't need a 2x. You can definitely get away with multiple 4x, multiple 3x, and then just kind of take small little L's on the categories where it's like, I got nothing that I could do.
that's true.
Um,
Yeah,
so I was thinking about it from that perspective, but also like when you think of, my catch-all card, I got my Venture X. I'll always have it. It's literally my Costco card. It's if I don't know what category it's in, it goes on my Venture X, and I'm happy with that.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Venture X for Costco is was one of the reasons why I want the card because baby life is going to mean a lot more trips to Costco than we currently have, and so you definitely want to have that kind of locked in. Honestly, even earning 3x Marriott points if I just use the Ritz Carlton card, not the end of the world. Because if I am going to use Marriott points, 3x isn't terrible. Because if I converted my points from Blue Business Plus, which I recommend no one ever transferring your MR points to Marriott, but if I did that, then I'd only be getting 2x Marriott for catch all, which I mean, yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, there's that. But yeah, no, I got to talk. We were talking about the 3% kind of double thing, and I got to talk about the Discover It Miles card. So oh yeah, I was. There's nothing to cover on here, but this card I got because it was helping us pay for my fence. And so we ended up putting it on that, and it's 1.5% cash back on everything, but then they match an additional 1.5% for the first year. And so for that first year, it's 3% cash back. And so between the no interest for 18 months, the 3% cash back, that was a pretty solid, single purchase for, $5,000 worth of fences. So we were happy about that.
Oh yeah.
But,
I
all right,
think
let's
it's
keep
always good to
going.
have like that unique card.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Background Balloon says, dang, Pro does not burn out. Yeah, not yet anyway. We'll see what happens when I have a baby. you know. And then Mike Newell said he's a producer. This what is as an expert at being an expert within 20 minutes of learning on most of it. Yeah, that's what I was talking about last. So I work for a news agency, and so we have to be an expert on something that we just learned about. And so it's as long as you sound authoritative and use simple language, you can sound very confident. And so J Rods, hello, Philip and Daniel. Amex is either too good or too disappointing, especially when a waitress gives you a sad look and tells you, sorry, we don't take Amex twice in less than 2 weeks. Oof, that is rough. And you
Yeah.
just be like, what's wrong with you?
Yep.
Don't
I
you
mean,
know that I have
majority
a
of
gold
places
card?
take Apple Pay.
That's
Gold,
true.
yeah. What gold card? Hello. Don't
Yeah,
you know what this is? I got my
I'm
OG
kind
gold
of a
card
big
too.
deal.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you're like, don't you know? I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man, you know? Um,
Exactly. That's
but
not
I think
even
that's
business.
where
That's just business.
business. I think that's where having like that, this is where it all kind of starts, where it's like, at what point do you jump ship? At what point do you start exploring other ecosystems? I
Hmm.
think for J Rods, if this continues happening to a point to where you're now using debit cards to pay for food, and it's not the PayPal debit card, then I mean, I would highly consider at least having like one other ecosystem
Yeah.
to kind of complement or work in tandem with American Express as kind
Hmm.
of your like long con or your end game, or just like a very end goal where you don't really care how much points are on it as long as you get like something in like however long of time, and then you use
Yeah.
that for the smaller things. That's kind of where Capital One fits in for me, and I think that's where it's very difficult for me to like have Chase as that second, because I feel like the ecosystems compete entirely too much to where I
Mm.
can't use the cards together. I feel like I almost would have to pick one or the other. And
Yeah.
in this case, if majority of the restaurants that you don't go to take American Express, then I would almost be forced to leave
Mm.
and use something else. But if it's like
Yeah.
one or two times, but like 95% of the time your American Express works, then I wouldn't sweat too much and I would just use that complimentary card, like the
Yeah.
saver or something.
Yeah, I will say about that. I think City has kind of supplanted Capital One as my backup go-to, and it's just because the City Strata Premier, so it's a Mastercard, so it will be accepted if the Amex doesn't, and it's just the having the one-to-one to JetBlue, having the one-to-one to American. I'm really intrigued by I Prefer. I'm really intrigued by some choice hotels. I was looking at. I just recorded a members only video that I'm going to be dropping soon, talking about like all the potentials with choice, and it's just like it's not bad. It seems like it's easier to get some value from. So I think I'm starting to lean a little bit
Yeah.
more towards City as my backup. And sorry, Capital One,
Yeah, I mean, JetBlue is just so undefeated right now
they
when it
are.
comes to East Coast availability. Like, I'm
Yeah.
looking up flights to go to Charleston, and the JetBlue points are like 10,000 points. I was like, this is literally
Mhm.
free. And then I
Yeah.
realized it's like a 5 to 3 or like a 1 to 2, or just like some get
Hmm.
absolutely wrecked. You lose half of the value of your points from Capital
Yeah.
One. Meanwhile Chase and meanwhile City is 1 to 1. I was like, oh man, yeah. So that's another
Yeah.
thing where it really depends on the transfer partners.
It really does, and like where you're going to go with them is kind of a big deal. No, you're 100% right. Mike Newland brought up a good point. The annual fee is just prepaying for those benefits. Yeah, and that's kind of true. Like it's like I feel like it's I don't know if maybe I'm too old for this, but when I was in high school, they gave us the little coupon card things, and you had to sell that as a fundraiser, and so that was like what $20 or $25 or whatever, and it's always like $3 off Little Caesars twice or something, and then like the whole 9 yards. It's like you're buying it is a coupon book of sorts, and as long as I feel like the coupon book works with what you're naturally going to be spending to a reasonable degree, right? Like, am
Mhm.
I saying that before the platinum card, I spent $600 a year on fine hotels and resorts? Absolutely not. But I can move some of our staycations or even some of our vacations to kind of those properties and actually save that money. Yeah, like I consider that to be a win. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dim says agreed, Mike, and then some. Yeah, no, that's true. The platinum card, it's just the usable benefits, the benefits that are easy to kind of automate in my book, are just so much higher than the annual fee that it makes sense to me.
Yep. I mean, I can relate this in a way. Well, I mean, yeah. Who here pays for Equinox?
That's
W-
true. Yeah, no, yeah,
why are you paying $350 a month for something you could do for free at home?
hmm,
Like there's people
yeah,
that they know exactly what they want out of fitness, out of the gym. Like the gym
right.
that I go to, it's like $100 a month. I upgraded from like
Dang, you
upgraded.
bougie.
I came from a gym where it would be like $30 a month. It's like a community gym,
Hmm,
like everybody goes there, like kids
right.
work out in their Crocs, in their like
Yeah,
pajamas. And it's like it got to a point to where I'm just sick and tired of being with people that don't care about fitness, that waste their time there,
mm,
that don't treat the gym
gotcha.
with respect, and I just wanted to elevate my experience when I work out, because when I go to the gym, similar like how we choose credit cards, I do this because I have a quality of life that I really want to just like maintain and
There you
enable.
go.
And I'm going to a gym and I'm paying 3 times more money for this gym because this gym is incredibly well maintained. It has state-of-the-art machine. It does
That
not have
matters.
kids in it because kids cannot afford this. So I will not find kids here that waste my time,
Yeah, I
that are
got you.
dirty, and you know what I'm saying? So it's like
No, yeah.
the people that think of like $900 a year card, or like even $500 a year card, it's like the people that get this for the most part, like I said, it's one of two people. I'm either getting the welcome offer where the annual fee does not matter, like it literally doesn't
Hmm,
matter,
yeah.
or I'm getting this card because it fits exactly what I'm looking for out of lifestyle or out of necessity, where I don't view it as I'm paying $900 to keep a card. I don't even have annual fees on my budget because it's like I need these cards. But
Yeah.
also will say that I only have American Express and Venture X. So
Hmm,
like in total for me, my annual fees is like maybe 2,000, which will actually go down at the end of next year. But yeah,
hmm.
there's people that go absolutely wild and have like 40 cards, or have like you and me, two American Express Platinums, all of this. Like it definitely adds up. But the
Yeah.
difference is it's like you methodically chose these cards for a reason, and all of these
Oh
cards
no, I
work
didn't.
for you for what you need them for.
I
Whereas
have
other
I have the
people,
Venmo credit card and the Fidelity
there you
Rewards
go.
Visa. I get because of Shiny sometimes. And is it good?
Yep.
No. But you know,
Yep. Yep.
but yeah. No, but yeah, normally I like to try to think that I have a specific goal in mind, which actually the one
Yep.
key card is surprisingly interesting. So we were looking into getting a Verbo in the Isle of Skye next year, and the one key card, no annual fee, the sign up bonus $350. That's $350 off of a house on the beach in Scotland. Like like yeah, let's do it. you
Yep.
know. Now, does it cover a half of a night stay? Yeah, but I'll take it where I can get it.
Half a night. Let's
Exactly.
go.
Yeah. All right, David. Can you two spend a little time talking about the Blue Business Plus card? It seems to be the only no-fee Amex card that gets you into the world of MR points. What is the future of the everyday card? So, I think a couple of months ago, everyone was in a tizzy because Amex had kind of made a couple of what's the word when you like copyright a couple of terms, and
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
made it seem like the everyday cards and the everyday preferred were coming back, but they haven't yet. So are they coming back?
I was under the impression that they're actually like getting rid of them.
Oh yeah,
um,
okay.
I thought that they were
Like no,
I thought
you
that they were
cannot
just
apply for them
yeah.
anymore. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that was what I was thinking of. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, but
So
yeah, I don't
there's
know what the future of that is.
yeah, it was theorized at the time, and I think that was like 3 or 4 months ago now, that they were going to reopen the everyday card and the everyday preferred as a different brand. Sorry if you heard any of that. And then they were also going to rebrand supposedly the Blue Business Plus and the Blue Business Cash to be more in line with kind of the metal centric marketing of MR cards. And that hasn't happened yet, and so we don't really know I haven't seen anything on Reddit either about other people getting any information about it. But rest assured, if I hear about it, you will find out about it about an hour and a half later. So, um,
It's
but yeah,
5 minutes.
exactly right. We're just gonna go live from the car, guys. It's happening.
Yep.
But yeah,
With
let's
the
take a
Blue
look at
Business Plus. Yeah.
the Blue Business Plus. So, do you have the Blue Business Plus?
I do. It was my third American Express card, so I went gold, then platinum, and then Blue Business Plus. I think I put that I literally like they when they ask you for your revenue, I was like $200, and then they gave me like $5,000 in credit limit. I was like,
Nice.
y'all, somebody in underwriting needs to be retrained. But it's actually a card that to be honest, I keep it only because it's no annual fee.
Hmm.
It is not my catch-all. So my Venture X is still my catch-all
Yeah.
for a lot of moments. But I think one of the superpowers of this card is, I mean, it's a MR earning card with no annual fee. So I
Yeah.
hope American Express is not listening to this, but I completely plan on just absolutely decimating and imploding my relationship with them within the next year. Like I will be doing some just heinous upgrade, downgrade, like no
Oh yeah.
lifetime language, and then I'm going to just peace out Cub Scout. Um, unless, you know, I
Yeah.
decide to not do it. But I mean, that's the goal because contrary to popular belief, my end game is Chase strictly because of United and Hyatt. But I think that answers
That is
someone's
important.
question later as we kind of go through it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't use my Blue Business Plus. I used it for haircuts every now and then. I used it when I shopped at like Target, but as soon as I got my Venture X, like 2, 3, 4 months later, my Blue Business Plus is in my backup wallet and it's probably never coming
Mm.
out.
Okay. My journey is kind of similar to that. So this was my first business card with American Express. I got it not this past not this past April, but the April before that. And I got it because it was we were going to be doing taxes and I didn't have any other sign up bonuses and I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And I actually opened up the business checking account with Amex first. And did the sign up bonus for that. Parts. I think it was $5,000 there for 3 months. Got the whatever the mark things were, and yeah, 30,000 points. And then they started actually like pre-approving me for the Blue Business Plus. And at the time, I was working. I hadn't started the YouTube thing yet, and at the time, my only kind of 1099 thing was I was doing the AI training thing with I forgot who the actual company was, and they basically they pay you to rate whether or not the AI was good and how it was bad. And so I was making I was on course to make 20,000 a year for that, and just doing it in my free time. And so that's what I put. And yeah, they gave me like I think it was like a $12,000 credit limit or something, crazy. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Now it's actually every time I close a business card, I actually put my credit limit on here, and then just that way I always have that business credit available. And so I think this one's up to like 37,000 in credit limits, but which I don't even come close to touching because I just
Just
use
let me
that for
borrow
my
some.
YouTube expenses. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let me borrow some.
There you go. But yeah, so like my StreamYard subscription comes out of here. I use Asana to plan out my videos. So like I usually like to have at least a month worth of videos planned out in advance.
Hmm.
That way I can start thinking about like, writing it out and like packaging and stuff like that. And then let's see, I think pretty much, yeah. Oh, and Adobe came out of that and stuff like that. And so that's really what I use that for. And I actually sync that up with my tax app. And so basically it knows that anything I use this card for is a business expense. It automatically categorizes as that. And then it writes up a report by the end of the year. And so that's how I have this set up. So it's definitely not my catch-all either. Now, I know the one thing that I usually get whenever I have people that do the credit card consultations with me is do you have to actually use the Blue Business Plus card for business expenses? And the answer appears to be a resounding no. Now, legally, it's
Hmm.
supposed to be business expenses. But I will tell you, my very first American Express offer they put on this card was for Victoria's Secrets. So, not really a business expense in most people's kind of estimation. And so, like, I think that kind of set the tone for what they were expecting.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. The offers that you get could be God knows what. I mean, I feel like I got like
Yeah.
Little Caesars
Absolutely.
on
Yeah.
my Blue Business Plus. So
Every once in a while, that McDonald's offer comes out where it's like 500 MR points or something after you spend like $50 or $20 or something. I was like, yeah, let's do it.
yeah.
Anthony Venture's in the room. So thanks so much, Anthony Venture. Apparently, you both just came over here after recording. So that's great. And then we
Hmm.
got Dim, 27 people here and 2 likes. Yeah, hopefully people like and subscribe. That would be really, really awesome. But in addition to liking and subscribing to me, open up a separate browser tab and make sure you're going over to Card Smarter. I did try to at you in the description. I'm not sure if the link carried through, but if it did, just click on that link and you should be able to go over there and subscribe to Daniel. And anyway, thanks so much for doing that. And then thanks again, Dim, for the reminder.
Hmm.
Background Balloon has an interesting perspective. Not gonna lie, I don't think I'll be ever be able to hold many annual fee cards because knowing myself, I'm a nickel and dime it. Out of the 4 annual fee cards I have, only the IHG Premier is a keeper so far. That's an interesting perspective. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think it speaks a lot to what background balloon is doing, whether that's personal or professional. I was thinking similar thoughts where I think the one set of cards that I'm keeping, no matter which way I go, whether that's American Express or Chase or whoever else, is my Marriott cards. So I
Yeah,
found out that when it comes to loyalty in general, I think it's easier for me to fathom having Marriott, considering the wild success that we've had this year. Just going absolutely bonkers on Marriott and essentially staying there for business purposes and not spending a dime on it. LOL. But
yeah,
I'm sure that's probably something for life goals, life goals. I'm sure that's something where like the IHG Premier probably fits in that strategy where I think it's just easier to have like a hotel strategy. I think it's easier to, shop around with like credits and benefits when it comes to co-branded cards for hotels, whether that's Marriott or IHG or Hyatt, where everything else is kind of virtually replaceable or, you
yeah.
know, uh, interchangeable, if you will. So I would agree with hotels. I'm sure, Balloon has their own reasons as to like specifically why that card is a keeper, but I'd imagine has something to do with a benefit that they earn or just like
Mhm.
the benefits compared to like the value overall of the card.
Yeah, I will say I love the idea of IHG. So they kind of have a cool system where most of the time, let's say if you're traveling for business or if you're just traveling for, even just like regular family travel, that you really can't go very wrong with Holiday Inns or Holiday Inns Expresses. And so like if you have a certain amount you earn off of those stays, and then when you really want to live it up, you just go stay at an intercontinental somewhere in an actual tourist destination. And so like they really do have a good system. Like it's you there's hotels where you earn points and there's hotels where you spend points, at least in my opinion. And it's kind of a very clear line with IHG, and it's not as clear with with Marriott, I don't think. But
Yeah.
it is interesting, and I love the Kimptons. Kimptons are amazing.
I think the IHG is one of the ones that I mean, I'm so new to the game, so it's been mainly like Hyatt and Marriott. So IHD is definitely something that I mean, I hear consistently from a lot of creators on like how it's definitely evolving and getting like more and
Oh yeah.
more, better as far as cards, rewards, benefits. So I definitely would like to eventually step into that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the one fun thing about IHG is actually you can buy a pretty upper scale status with the I think the Intercontinental has a status you can buy for like 295 or something like that, and it actually comes with a free weekend night voucher. I think it's like if you stay for two
Hmm.
nights, you can have a free weekend night or something. And so it kind of pays for itself, but it gives you, I want to say platinum status or something with IHG. I don't know the exact status, but you can buy status with them pretty easily. And
Nice.
so if I ever do end up going to an intercontinental, if we go to the one in Paris, which is kind of a nice one, I would definitely want to at least invest in that status a little bit because that would really make it worthwhile.
Yeah, pay to win. Love it.
Exactly. Anthony Fincher, a dude gave me a free edible in Winter Park once. Never again. You must have been in the wrong part of Winter Park. So Winter Park is kind of an interesting little thing. They have this nice little kind of park avenue that's like really kind of nice. And then if you go 2 blocks over, you're literally like you just feel like you stepped in a completely different world. They definitely they have some class differences. But yeah, background balloon, Anthony
Just
Ventura
need more
Hall. We
info,
need
yeah.
to. We definitely need more info. Yeah. I'm just curious, why 2 platinum cards? That's a good question.
You know, that is a good question. I was coming across my 1 year anniversary for having my platinum card, and I've read so much about no lifetime language links and just upgrade, downgrade strategy, things like that. My entire game plan essentially was to just completely flip the script on all of my cards. So I was going to downgrade my gold. I was going to downgrade everything to green and then just find my way back to upgrading and things like that. And in my research, I didn't realize how easy it was to like maintain statuses with hotels if you like
Mm,
downgrade and then get another one, things like that. I thought it was
yeah.
incredibly complex. I was actually like really worried that I was going to lose my credits and benefits. I was going to lose
Yeah.
um what's a priority pass, which you have to like create a whole separate account, which
Right.
is interesting. So with that, I was going through the upgrade downgrade strategy, and in addition, I got a no lifetime language platinum. This was, I think,
Nice.
who was it? Cesar posted it in Discord.
Oh yeah.
It was for
I remember
80K,
that.
and this was probably maybe like 2 weeks before the refresh went live. So I was able to lock
Nice.
in the new benefits of the platinum with the I don't even remember what the annual fee was, 695. So with the 695 annual fee, um, and I kind of just like did the math in my head where I was planning on canceling my original platinum card,
Hmm.
but as I'm doing the math, the new benefits on both of these cards actually outweigh the
Yeah.
695 annual fee. So I was just thinking about how on January 1st, I'll have $400 in United, I'll have $600 in Equinox, I'll have, 600 more dollars in FHR, I'll have YouTube, I'll have all the streaming platforms, Lululemon, and you stack essentially all of that with Rakuten. So when I did all my Lululemon purchases, I stacked it with the 15x Rakuten, and I just
Nice.
went absolutely bonkers
Yeah,
with like the
that was a
double
nice one.
dip drip. But yeah, so I just decided for the 695 annual fee, I'm just going to keep both. And then ultimately, my original platinum card, I don't need to make any changes. So I don't have to worry about like shifting everything from priority pass from one to the other. I don't have to
Mm,
worry about changing my statuses from one card to the other. So for me, like this is where I guess to answer his question honestly, I'm paying for convenience. I could have easily canceled it and then kept whatever benefits on the
yeah.
second one, but I decided that it would just be easier to pay the 695, keep everything the way that it exactly is, and then use and abuse the credits. And then Resi
Yeah.
too. Not even gonna not don't forget about that. Like
Oh yeah.
it far outweighs it. So
It really
that's
does.
kind of just like it's just kicking the can down the road really.
Yeah.
Where I just cancel the second one after year one, and then I keep my original first one, and then I'll be back down to one.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you are focused on just getting back the annual fee, using the FHR credits and then using the Resi credits more than makes up for it. And then you have,
Mhm.
the Uber Eats credit, and then you have, the streaming credit, which got enhanced, and all the stuff. So it is easy.
Yep. Yep.
Just to kind of fix the whole like situation with the priority pass thing. So it is a pain. So my wife and I, we each have priority pass through the Ritz Carlton card, the personal platinum card, and the business platinum card. Actually, no, I just have it through the business platinum card. I didn't make her an authorized user on it. And so we actually did find that Chase is actually better for Priority Pass. So the Priority Pass with my
Mm.
Ritz-Carlton card gets me access to like the Express Spa, so you can get like a back massage, a 10-minute back massage, every time you're at the airport. Then they have the Minute Suites, which is kind of nice too. And so in some airports, the American Express Priority Pass doesn't give you access to that. So I'm pretty much only rely on my Chase Priority Pass through my Ritz-Carlton card. So, you know, that's kind of prevents me from being too worried about doing upgrade downgrade with a platinum card. So you just need
Yeah,
to get another card. That will solve your problem.
exactly. Yeah, I wasn't worried too much about the gold because like the benefits, like you just tap and roll and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
But the platinum, there's just more work involved. So I guess like as part of the whole theme, I think that's another way or another reason why people feel like they're stuck in that ecosystem because
Mm,
it's just so
yeah.
complicated to like start over when it comes to things like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then, once you buy into the gold and the platinum, it's just it's a yearly decision to not use it because once you have it, you're throwing money away by not using it. It's if I'm using the saver card, I'm giving up 1x somewhere. And I'm already paying for the card that gives me the 4x. And so, it's just like let's just do it. All right,
Yep.
let's continue. We're really kind of just plodding along. We're actually at 4:15 now on the chat. So, LOL, Anthony is in the hot tub Airbnb. Oh yeah, I do remember that story. Anthony's got some great stories. We do need to maybe you guys need to
Special
do
episode.
yeah, Anthony. If you're still on, I'll send you the link to the chat and you can come on and tell us about it if you want. Dim says he stayed at the Alfond in Winter Park recently for a wedding. Beautiful hotel. Yeah, that is a beautiful hotel, and I think they have a restaurant there that's pretty good. I haven't been there myself, but that restaurant is in on Resi, and I think the Alfond is actually on FHR.
Mhm.
Anthony did say, seems to me nowadays it's best to just get as many subs as Amex will give you, then move on, unless you live the Aspire Plus Plat life. Yeah. But the sub possibilities are insane, as you both done recently. Absolutely, yeah. And it's funny because I got the Aspire card right here, and I did it without a sign-up bonus because I just needed diamond status, and it saved me a lot actually for doing that. But
Yeah.
let's see. Background Blue. Ella, if you come to the Bay Area, we promise you'll have a better experience. We get hippie capital in San Francisco and Berkeley. I'm guessing that's on the edible front. So good job, Background Blue. Sleepy Rod, I feel like
Way to
Chase is
go.
trying to become city where your only way of earning URs is with spending, but they don't even have gas and groceries. So in my opinion, they are a worse version of city. Interesting perspective. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Don't even get me started on how absolutely amazing this card is right here. Okay.
Yep.
There's no, look, if I could just like tell my camera to zoom in on me, but there's no better card in the American Express ecosystem than the business gold. I'm like, you heard it
Wow.
here first. This is the hill that I die on. Like I'm literally like I'm getting an electric car, so I won't be needing like the gas as much. But there's still things that you can do. Like if you charge at like a Shell station, like I wonder if that codes as like gas since it's like a gas company. But like my online purchases all give me 4x. Like all my Apple, all my Best Buy, all of my subscriptions that I have for Apple
Oh
are
yeah.
4x. And the gas is also 4x. When I don't spend money on gas, I'm going to spend money on food. So it
Mm,
effectively makes my personal American Express Gold, it's going to be useless.
yeah.
So this is kind of something where it's like this business gold is so valuable from the perspective of just like earning member rewards. It is
Oh
on
yeah.
it's almost goaded. Like I wish I
It
could
really
look
is.
up like you do on the personal. On the business side, for some reason, it doesn't tell you how many points you've earned all year. You have to go statement by statement, which is just
Hmm.
infuriating.
It is.
American Express, please change. Um,
Well,
but
it's weird
yeah,
because you'd think that they would want us to know how much we're earning on their cards because you're like, oh, you're
yeah,
getting a lot of value. But
yeah. And I think that's where like American Express wins the game here. It's because
hmm
they are absolute monsters when it comes to earning member rewards, just like what this comment is
yeah.
talking about, where it's like when you're done with the welcome offers, when the dust has settled, what cards are you going to use up to rebuild your award system? American Express unless you have 15 custom cash, you know what I'm saying? It's very difficult to beat. And the fact that they have the craziest sign up bonuses on top of that, I couldn't agree more. I think
Yeah.
Chase definitely has a lot of work to do when it comes to like what multipliers work with what. I feel like gas and groceries is definitely incredibly weak unless you
Hmm.
find a way to finesse and use just get like Visa gift cards with your chasing cash and then use Visa gift cards at Safeway, right? But like
There you go.
who wants to do these giga brain omega
Right.
strategies where it's like you have to be playing 3D chess when everybody
Right.
else is playing checkers, you know?
Yeah,
So,
which is weird because City or I mean Chase, they on their surface, they're super easy and accessible for the most people to get value from. And they definitely were true, definitely was much more true when they had the portal bonus, you know. Like I
yeah.
can earn points. I can transfer them to Hyatt. I can also transfer them to United or Southwest. Or I could, if I have the Chase Sapphire Preferred at the time, I could get 1 point, was it 3 4 cent 3 5 cents per point or something, with just buying a hotel through the portal, right? And so that made it easy to use Chase points for IHG properties, for just regular properties, and get decent value. And so like it seemed to me like you could cash them out at 1 cent per point. You could get more than 1 cent per point through the thing, and they've really kind of started to go away from a lot of that accessibility. And then there's a problem of the online grocery multiplier and the fact that there's no gas multiplier. Like it's like there's so many places where Chase just kind of drops the ball comparatively speaking, that it just seems like what a lot of people refer to it as like just like them resting on their laurels. Like they are the biggest bank, and they don't really have to care about what we like. They just because people just, oh, I'm supposed to get this card, and then they spend on or like I actually know people that just like they just have like the Southwest Priority card, and that's where they put all their spend, and it's like okay.
One of my coworkers at the vending machine used their Rapids reward card and I almost lost it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
almost lost it. I was like,
yep.
what are you doing?
And it is kind of funny because those people tend to be the most that are like, I got this figured out. We got our Sky Miles, we got our like it is funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. If you definitely want to make sure that you are getting the best value, I do offer credit card consultations as well. There should be a link in the description below, and I definitely would love to hash out like your potential vision, so you don't have to just use your Southwest Priority card for everything. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's continue. Dim City is definitely superior when it comes to multipliers of the custom cash cards, or if you have the prestige, like some of us do. Yeah, absolutely. If you have the prestige, what are you nuts? You got to be using the prestige.
I don't.
Yeah, me neither. Dim says really depends on which transfer partners you're leveraging. Overall, Amex is much better with retention offers, upgrade downgrades,
Yes.
and perks. Yeah,
Yep.
Amex is actually really easy to use. I feel like.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Uh,
even if you're a hotel, Hiltons are good too. Sorry.
yeah, no, I had a video with Stefan where we were talking about like who's better, Chase or American Express, and I was like, everyone's gonna think I'm gonna pick American Express, and y'all are gonna be surprised. And the whole video went on, and we were just like, okay, so obviously Daniel thinks American Express is better. And I was like, actually, I think Chase is better, and I think it's because of similar thinking to the content or um to the comment here, where it really does depend on transfer partners. And while Hyatt is still Hyatt, I don't think there's any better reason or any better transfer partner when it comes to just getting overall value for your cent per points. Like
Yeah,
the hotel that we all booked for the content creator
absolutely. Yeah.
meetup, we're almost at 4 cents per point at this point,
Hmm. I
where yeah, there's definitely a
yeah.
lot of like finesse. And if you are very well versed with alliances, then transfer partners kind of just like don't matter, because the
Hmm.
point is they all transfer to Virgin Atlantic, they all transfer
Right.
to Qantas, they all transfer to British Airways. So at the end of the day, like you kind of have your toe in whatever transfer partner's hand, right? where you can
Right.
book United through Qantas, you can book United through Avianca, you can book United through ANA, right? And that's all American Express transfer
Yep.
partners. But I think something to really factor in is you can't book Hyatt with Marriott points. You can't book, Hyatt with
No, right.
whatever else. Like there's no alliances there. It's either you got it or you don't.
Right.
And I think that's where the transfer partner game is really played. And that's something that I haven't even begun to just scratch the surface because me as a person, and like a point accumulator and spender, and in most cases waster, I've been
Mhm.
thinking only about flights and
Right.
the fact that flights are so flexible and you can book flights. You can book one flight from San Francisco to Charleston in probably 20 different ways using points from
Absolutely.
American Express,
On the
but
same plane.
hotels you can't. Yeah, on
Yeah.
the same plane, literally
Yeah.
same flight, but
Yeah.
hotels you can't do that. And
No,
that's
that's true.
where Chase is going to come out ahead. That's where Built is going to come out ahead. But the sad part is like it's so challenging to get Built points right now. Like I was doing the
Yeah.
math in my head and I was like, I would rather spend 20% more points for another flight from a different airline rather than spend
Yeah.
20% less points, but it'll take me five ever to get points. Like it'll take me a year to get 40,000 Built points. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
true.
I
Yeah.
got that in a month and a half, American Express. Like just
Hmm.
putting that into perspective, right? So
Absolutely. For the hotels, there are some sweet spots. Like you can currently book I Prefer through Choice, and sometimes it's actually better than booking through I Prefer directly. And then, of course, with Hyatt, you got Mr. and Mrs. Smith properties, and then Hilton, you have access to the small luxury hotels of the world program as well. And so those have some nice. But again, it's not like I can also book that same hotel through Marriott or Hyatt. It's just it's there is a rule, but there are some sweet spots, but it's definitely fewer and far between, like you were saying. Real quick before we get ahead of ourselves, I just noticed that we have a super chat. J Rods, thanks so much for being here. Come on, people, press like and subscribe. Philip, don't take time off. Show him some love. Thank you. I appreciate you.
yeah.
You're amazing, J Rods. Thank you. All right, let's go back. I need to figure out where I was. Yeah. I thought about Rakuten to Built. Not ideal when you have a player two since we pull points for bookings. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about it a little bit more. Built is of course now a transfer partner for Rakuten. And the fun thing is, you don't actually need the Built card in order to be able to do this. You just need to have a Built account. And so I'm going to be using that for, so all my Black Friday spending has been through Rakuten on the Rakuten card. And so between the sign up bonus for that, I will have a healthy chunk of points that will be going towards Built specifically for Hyatt.
Yeah. I mean, the Hyatt booking that we did for the creator meetup was brought to me in full by Built Points.
Nice.
I had literally 40K built transferred over from Rakuten and then off to Hyatt, and then it was literally 20K. It was like the universe just dropped this into my lap, honestly. It was 20K Hyatt per night, and I had exactly 40K Hyatt points. Um, but I think of just thinking about Rakuten as like a point earning like backup, I think is equally as important to talk about here because me
Yes.
and player
Yeah.
two also pool points for everything. Like it's a two-player system, but we're using one ecosystem. We're using my ecosystem. So
Right.
like she's logged into my Rakuten account. I'm also logged into my Rakuten account. She's using my Marriott. She's using my American Express.
Hmm.
So thinking about it from that perspective, like you kind of can't go wrong, whether it's
Yeah.
built or member reward points. The thing that I just don't really like about built right now is you're going to need status in order to keep the one-to-one ratio.
Yeah.
But
That will be true. Yeah.
just having for now, the first cash out was 1-to-1. The second cash out, hopefully it's going to be 1-to-1. But after that, I don't really see myself having status with Built unless it's given to us via a credit card because their refresh is
It
coming
definitely
in
could be.
February.
It definitely could be.
But it's absolutely undefeated. Like there's no better point earning than Rakuten right now for me. Online
Hmm.
shopping is like my bread and butter where I can't even use my business gold to do things at Best Buy or to do
Oh yeah.
things at other online retailers because it's all through Rakuten with my Rakuten card to
Yeah.
get like insane value.
And that is one thing I will say about Rakuten. It has kind of forced me to buy directly a lot more. And that's
Mhm.
not something that I was doing. So before Amex, I started really kind of focusing on doing Amazon a lot, maybe Walmart Plus for some things. But with these, and especially with the, I think not Shopify or the Shop account or whatever it was that we used to be a benefit of American Express, and we kind of got grandfathered in if you already had it. It does give you free shipping, free 2-day shipping in a lot of places. Like when I these Under Armour shirts, if I want to get those replaced, there's no minimums for free 2-day shipping because of that American Express benefit. Some of
Mhm.
these, like if I order directly from Ralph Lauren, I get free shipping and free return shipping just by having an account with them. And so, like, basically you just buy a bunch of stuff and then send back whatever doesn't fit. And, it didn't cost you anything, which is, just as like it's the reason why we all went to Amazon. And so there's a lot of different places like that are like this. Macy's is pretty good about that, and 12% cash back. Oh boy, that's not bad for me.
Mhm.
I might have to go visit them again. And then of course we also got to talk about the rental car stuff. Like right now, Hertz and Avis have huge bonuses right now, and if you put that on the Rakuten credit card, that's even better. So yeah,
Mhm.
Rakuten is really solid.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't matter where you throw your points. The fact that you're getting these points is, it's a gift because the way I see it is like you can
Right.
get 1x on your platinum card if you were
Yeah,
to shop at Lululemon, right? So you get something that's $75 on your platinum card and you only get 75 points. But if you wait for when, there's a 15x on Rakuten, you're now getting like almost 1,000 points, for
that's true.
something where, and
Yeah,
that's where it just gets crazy.
it does. It really does get crazy. Yeah. Great point. All right. Juan Garcia is here. Thanks so much for being here, Juan. Really appreciate you. We've made it to 427, so we're still a little behind on the chat. The conversations are just too good. Vincent Pasquale says, Happy Sunday. Thanks so much for being here as well, Vincent. Juan Garcia, if Chase wants folks to spend money on their cards, they're shooting themselves in the foot and not having a gas or grocery multiplier. I feel like we might have already talked about this, actually.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Couldn't agree more. Chase, get your stuff together.
Yeah, exactly. Don Kim, thanks so much for being here. Definitely works at Resi Restaurants. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Dim, my wife uses the Equinox credit for some online classes of the app. I think it
Hmm.
comes out to about the $300 per year. Yeah, I've heard that some
Yep.
people have had experience with that.
I gifted it for my mom.
Oh, nice. All
I
right.
I just gave her the login, password, everything. I was like, just change the biometric data. So just change the height, health, whatever to you, so it's relevant. And then I was actually gonna just on the second platinum card, I was just gonna give that to her, like on her own account. And she was like, I never use it. I was like, cool, well, it's free. So
Yeah. I was just checking in on the Discord, and it looks like Discover released their quarterly categories for Q1. That could be fun. Apparently, they're supposed to be good. Let me see if I can find it.
that means video in 5 minutes, y'all.
Exactly right. Yeah. So
Philip
January,
reacts.
exactly right. Oh, yeah, okay. I don't see it on the website. Maybe it's a oh yeah, no. Yeah, no, I don't see next year. Okay, maybe it just hasn't shown up for me yet. But yeah, great job, Dim. Yeah. And then of course we talked about J Rods, who is the GOAT. Thank you so much. And we have Corky J. I think people who hate the platinum usually have too many cards that any specific changes just annoys them. That's interesting. Okay, so it's been kind of my theory that Chase and American Express are kind of creating these giant coupon books that are just absurdly expensive with the sole goal of making it that that is the only thing you have in your wallet. And I feel like Chase just sucks at that game compared to American Express,
Yeah.
quite frankly. But yeah, what do you think about that?
I think that, man, it's definitely tough because I'm not in the room with Mr. Diamond.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, I think the growth that American Express has seen, it's something that just cannot be ignored. It's kind of like the Apple of cell phones where everybody else is just copying Apple at this point. And then
Right.
everyone talks shit about Apple because it's so expensive and it's not simple and I can use my Android a million times better and I could do this.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a tomato tomato type of a deal. But at the end of
Hmm.
the day, the things that you cannot ignore is everybody's copying Apple, just like everybody's copying American Express. And yep, Apple Card. I have one of those. I remember when I got that. Never use
Oh
it.
yeah. Nope.
But like there's a reason why Chase has introduced, credits and benefits to all of their cards. It's to
Yeah.
justify increasing the price of their
Hmm.
yearly subscription, as I like to call them, right?
Yeah.
So it's like every credit card issuer, they're going to charge you more and they're also going to give you more. The cold, hard, and somewhat sad truth is Chase just picked the wrong partners, in my
They
opinion.
did.
I think
Lyft
that,
sucks.
yeah, Lyft sucks, honestly. Like the only reason why I use Lyft is because they had this promo with Built where you get like 5x points and you can,
Hmm.
or you get United. Oh yeah, no, it was Built in United. If you get Lyft rides to and from airports, you get United
Yeah.
miles. But it's just like,
Yeah.
what are all these hula hoops that you have to jump through?
I know.
But don't get me wrong, I think the partners are like they're world renowned. Like they have great partnerships, phenomenal partnerships. But at the end of
Yeah.
the day, I think it just misses the mark of like what people are looking for when it comes to a lifestyle card. And I think American Express had that foundation already. Like you can see
Right.
it with Resi, you can see it with Uber, you can see it with Walmart. Like these are like foundational pieces that majority of Americans and people in the world use. And Chase and Capital One and Citi, I don't think Capital One's even going to join this coupon book. And if
No.
they
Yeah.
do, I would be shocked. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I,
Citi
I
and
think that's the
Chase,
correct answer.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
that's the
think
correct
Citi and
answer.
Chase are. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, no, sorry. You can definitely see that with the City card, the City Shroud Elite card. Like, the individual credits are not bad, but if you take a look at how they did it, they have the splurge credit, which is just like pick one of our partners, please. And and one of them, of course, is American Airlines, and then Best Buy is there too. And so it'll be interesting to see kind of if they ever do release the breakdown of the take rate on which one of those partners. But like that's just I feel like they're kind of like they're trying to pick whichever ones seem like they fit. Black Lane is kind of it feels like out of left field, but it kind of makes a little bit of sense because I would use that just because, my wife and I, we travel, we sometimes need airport transfers. So like we would use that. But like it's definitely kind of if Capital One were to enter the game and try to play it to that degree, I don't know if there's anything left. Like who has the marketing budget behind giving a bank, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to fund a credit like that sort of thing,
Hmm.
you
Yeah,
know?
definitely. Yeah, I think it's kind of just like picking up scraps at this point. Like American Express did such a phenomenal job of like locking in those partnerships. How they even got Lulu, I don't even know. Maybe it's kind of just like a we're gonna give you business because maybe they
Right.
had leverage or something like that. But I mean,
Yeah.
even like Aura Ring, like I'm literally like I got one on right now. The only reason why I have one is because
Nice.
they had 30% off for Black Friday plus the
Hmm.
American Express statement credit. I'm like, free? Sure.
Yep.
50 bucks?
Yeah.
Why not?
$50 Aura ring if you get the base model. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Like I think their description is like what, $70 a year or something like that.
Mhm.
And so like that's the ultimate goal. Like they don't I
Yeah.
guess it's becoming like a Kindle situation where they're just like, we just want the hardware on you. And so we can sell
Yeah.
your data and then charge you for it.
Yeah. Drop ship your DNA to China. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Corky says my partner has the everyday and upgraded to the everyday preferred. Yeah, so that was a pretty solid card, honestly. I liked how American Express was kind of approachable at kind of the lower end as far as annual fees go. I feel like that's less
Mhm.
the case, just because I don't really care for the Blue Cash or Everyday or the Blue Cash Preferred. Like they're good cards. I don't like the way American Express does cashback.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even know they did cashback. That's kind of weird. They're
Yeah, it's
not known
only as
for
a statement
cashback.
credit.
Not at all.
Yeah, it sucks. It's definitely not my favorite. It's the reason why it's the first American Express card I closed, and that was actually it doesn't even matter if you see the number because it doesn't go anywhere anymore. So there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty card. It is like a really pretty card, but it pretty much gave me Disney Plus, but now I get Disney Plus for the Platinum card. So all
Yep.
right, Dim says I have three Blue Business Pluses. Great card. Don't need three for the subs. Yeah. So if you wanted to maximize, if you were able to maximize that 50,000 per card, then that would extend it to $150,000 a year for 2x, which would be pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of offers that I have to get another Blue Business Plus, the amount of offers that I have to add employee cards
Yep.
and then get another little sign-on bonus when they spend. I'm just like, I don't got employees, but I could make some up. Like, what?
Oh yeah.
Send them my way, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. I think they did start requiring you to actually have social numbers for employee cards though, which kind of
Yeah.
sucks. But
Yep.
yeah, I guess too many people broke that.
Hmm.
All right. Hi. For the Venture X Party Pass for a guest, it says you have to spend 75,000. Is that through all Capital One cards or just the Venture X? I believe it to be just through the Venture X.
Yeah, I think it's similar to like the Delta Reserve and the
Yeah.
Platinum card where you spend 75K and then you could fly away in a Centurion lounge
Yeah.
forever.
It is kind of funny because I actually have so I have the business platinum card and I have it because of the 2x multipliers for large purchases, which we've done a number of so far this year. And I'm only about $8,000 away from getting the free lounge access. Free unlimited, free guests in the Centurion Lounge. But the only problem is I don't really have a need for that. And so I'm not going to put that spend there. But it's a good way to get around it. If you are doing that spend, I would definitely think the Venture X would be a better candidate for that than the Platinum card.
Hmm.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
and you get more
Cards.
points.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. You get more points. Card Smarter needs more videos. Yeah. There you go. All right. Juan Garcia. The only
They're on
spin
the
I put
way.
on.
They're on the way.
There we go. Yeah. The only spin I put on Amex cards is streaming on the Blue Cash Preferred for 6% cash back. The miscellaneous charge on Blue Business Plus. Yeah, I get that. I get that. This is a nice card. Like 6% cash back on groceries and streaming. It's hard to beat if you are on Team Cashback. But
Yep.
it's not my favorite. Two platinum good for back-to-back FHR stays. Absolutely. So my wife and I, so we have the platinum card, the personal version, and the business version. We are going to be staying at the Caledonian in Edinburgh next November. And so if you look at the rates, it's around $350 to $400 per night. And so we're going to be using my platinum benefit to pay for one night, my business platinum to pay for the second night, and then we're going to use in January, we're going to use do it again. And so we're going to have 4 nights for free, essentially mostly free, just through that particular thing. And the Caledonia is it's one of the nicer hotel properties in Edinburgh. So, which is actually interesting. There's not a whole lot of decent ones. Like there's a W, there's a Virgin Hotel if you're into that. But yeah, Virgin points are incredibly versatile.
Virgin points, like you can book hotels with the Virgin, like Atlantic, like flights.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And
Okay.
it's not that bad. It's usually like 50, 60,000 points a night.
That's not bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when
Especially
there's a
with the 40%
40%
transfer
transfer
bonus.
bonus right now. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. As long as the platinum keeps FHR, Resi, and streaming, plus Uber credits is a keeper for me for life. I'm definitely on that same boat, Corky.
Yeah, can't get rid of it. Sorry.
No.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm
It
just
sucks.
looking at this Sapphire Reserve and I'm like, what is this? What is this?
Yeah.
StubHub.
I,
Cool. Thanks.
yeah. My wife actually, so she works in advertising, and she actually has had a couple people approach her, like, because they know what I do. And they were just like, I've been paying for the Chase Sapphire Reserve for all this time, and I'm not going to do it anymore because it just doesn't make sense. And it's like, I feel like that's a more common answer than I can't do it anymore with the Platinum card. But maybe just the
Yep.
people I'm with.
Man, no, I think we're on the same boat. Honestly, like this is like why I wanted to have this conversation, because I'm just so hooked on like the benefits that you get from American Express. People are probably so hooked on the benefits you get from American Airlines compared to like United. It's all interchangeable. Like, don't just think it's just about American Express, but there's a reason
Right.
why people are loyal to a brand, and they get intrinsic value from it, and they get literal value from it. So I mean, I just don't see value better than what's in this comment right here, because it's wild. Like, I don't know it was
Yeah.
gonna be this crazy until like 1 year in.
I know. Yeah, yeah, it is crazy. So I'm going to press fast forward a little bit because Vinyl Cover sent in a very, very wonderful super chat, and just really appreciative of that. But he has a really good question, and
Hmm.
I'm just learning that my password has expired on my Virgin Red account, so I'm going to try to modify that real quick on the fly so we can actually do a couple of
Yep.
live bookings here because I definitely want to make sure we talk about
Yeah.
that. Because it's not
Yeah, no,
difficult,
it's
actually.
It's
Sorry,
very
go ahead.
interesting. The video and Anthony and I just recorded. So to answer Dem's question, I will be having a video. It's going to be posted at the end of the week. It's going to be talking a lot about this, like how do you look for flights? How do you book flights? The superpower of alliances. So I think this will be like a really nice little moment where we can all just see in real time how you can book flights in so many different ways and how to search for them and things like that. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So I have fixed my login issue. All
Mhm.
right, so we are on Virgin Atlantic's main flight. So Vinyl. So the first step is obviously to create an account with Virgin Atlantic and or British Airways, and so we're going to do that. And I'm just going to do just a real quick kind of flight to show you just something that I know. So I know that Delta goes from Orlando to DCA. We're just going to do one ways to make it easy. Just pick a random date in July 15th. So let's take a look at what kind of flights we can. So we're looking on Virgin's website. We're logged into Virgin. And now we're just waiting for them to find our flights. And if you notice, you can see a couple of direct options and you can see them on Delta Metal. And so it'll actually tell you specifically the flight details. So it'll tell you the flight number, it'll tell you which plane it's going to be on and the time.
Mhm.
And so we have
Mhm.
this particular flight here available in main cabin. So this would be economy, but not the basic economy. And so you definitely will still be able to access the sky clubs and things like that. But this is for 11,000 points plus $6 in taxes. And so basically, if you made this booking, so I would have to transfer over 11,000 points to Virgin through either way. And then I could just make this booking, pay for that. And then actually, so Virgin's fair rules are you have 24 hours to fully cancel the flight without a fee. Otherwise, you'd have to, I think there might be a change fee involved. And so that's kind of a consideration. That's one of the things about that's sad about this. But when you actually make this final booking, all you have to do is go into the booking on Virgin and you can either look for the Delta confirmation, look it up on Delta, and then add in your number, or you can just add in your Delta Sky Miles number from your Virgin account. And then once you do that, it shows up in your Delta app. And the great thing about this whole thing is if you have a Delta Gold card or higher, you do still get that free checked bag. You do still get priority boarding and the whole 9 yards. And so
Mhm.
this can definitely be a really great way to kind of make everything kind of work for you.
Yep.
Am I missing anything?
No, I mean, I think you definitely provided like an awesome example of like how to book, how to search, things like that.
Yeah.
To kind of add
Thank
on
you.
to that, I think something that's incredibly important is like the foundational knowledge that not many people have. So
Right.
not many people know that Delta and Virgin are in the same alliance. Not many people know that you need to like transfer points from here to here. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think
Absolutely.
for you and me, where we're much deeper into the game, and you can pretty much just list off like every single transfer partner, and you'll be good to go
Yeah.
if you need to fly anywhere. I think something for vinyl cover to kind of look into a little bit more is I think you just need to, number one, like the question that you're asking, like we're gonna ask you questions. Number one, where are you traveling? Right?
Right.
Wherever you're
Absolutely. Yeah.
traveling, what airline is going to get you there? right? So is it Delta? Is it United? Is it American? Once you get there, can you transfer your currencies to those airlines? If the answer is no, then what alliances are Delta, United, American Airlines in, and what transfer partners can you do, like what Philip just showed, where it's part of the alliance. You can book Delta flights with Virgin. You can book United flights with ANA. You can book American Airlines flights with Alaska or with British
Hmm.
Airways, right? So I think if you don't have that like transfer partner chart or alliance chart like I do, it's in my notes app all the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
I think that would be like a great place to start, because we can talk about this of how to book flights anywhere probably for like 7,000 hours and
Oh,
still have things
absolutely.
to discuss, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, if I were to say anything, it's kind of just like understand what alliances are and what transfer partners are in each alliance, and then just realize or understand where your currencies currently at. So that way you can build up currencies in that Chase ecosystem or in that built ecosystem or Amex ecosystem so that you can
Hmm.
transfer rather than not knowing what you're doing, just picking a random card. Okay, we're going to go with a platinum card and then realize, oh crap, the airline that I need, it's not transferable to this ecosystem, you know?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Um, One quick thing. Yeah, so I did want to answer the second part of Vinyl Covers question. So I've been looking at British Airways as well. So I was actually just looking at the same thing. So this is for some reason they always go the next day over. So this is Tuesday, July 14th, and then Wednesday, July 15th from the same kind of dates. This is on American Metal. And so all I did was I logged in my British Airways account and just did search for Avios. And then here we go. And I can actually see that there's 7 seats in first class. And that's actually 32,000 Avios plus 560 for American first class seat. Not bad in my opinion, honestly. And then
Mhm.
British Airways here is 16,000 for economy. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, exactly. Knowing the partners is really solid, and I think to that point about knowing which partners to look at, it's important to kind of whenever I'm doing a fresh flight that I've never planned for or haven't done any research on. First of all, I look for my ideal flight. So if I what I would love to do is go from the airport that I'm at now to the airport I want to be at. So I look at that flight on Kayak first and I see if anybody does that direct flight. And then I look and see, okay, if that flight exists, who is it with? And then I look into who has transfer partners with that particular airline or with
Yeah.
their alliance or whatever. And then I kind of go from there. What you will find out is that most of the time, if for international flights, if you're trying to track international business flights, you will have to go do at least one repositioning flight because you're going to
Mhm.
find it back. You're going to find it back to, essentially JFK, LHR. That's going to be kind of your biggie thing. So, but
Mhm.
yeah, thanks so much for that question, Vinyl. We appreciate you. Okay, let's go back. Let's see.
Dude, how many comments are there? This is wild.
We are behind. Yeah, we are behind a little bit.
It's gonna be like a
Let's
10-hour stream.
yeah, exactly. All right, so let's see. Party Pass with restaurants is a game changer. Yeah, I think Dim, the only one that actually still does that is U.S. Bank. I want to say. I think there might be another one, like maybe a Navy Federal that has it or something like that. But yeah, no, it is few and far between now.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. So he says got 4 visits per year on the U.S. Bank Altitude Connect. Great supplementary card for free. Absolutely, the fact that it gives you that is incredible.
Mhm.
Great tip, Kevin. Thanks so much for being here. And then T-Bab says, if you do bank churning like RJ, then couldn't you just pay your annual fees with the bank's money? Yeah, absolutely. I'm currently waiting for my bank bonuses for Wells Fargo and Bank of America to hit. Should hit in the next week or two for at least one or both of them. And absolutely, that's going to directly cover my Venture X annual fee. So
There it is.
yeah,
That's how you do it.
exactly. And then
Beep beep.
Anthony Venture. Yeah, exactly. I think maybe that's an electric car. Anthony Venture's
Yep.
Tesla is incredible. He needs to name it something like Kit from Knight Rider or something.
Tessica Simpson.
There we go.
You
All
heard it here
right.
first.
There we
Jessica's
go.
driving today, y'all.
Dim says Biz Gold is great, very underrated. Absolutely, gotta love the Biz Gold. And
Yep.
then welcome to EV Club. Absolutely. Oh, Dim says Alfond is also a preferred hotels property for 30,000 points or 7,500 thank you points. That's pretty crazy.
Dude, that's amazing.
And that's a good hotel. That's a good boutique hotel.
Yeah.
Corky, Amex earns definitely the fastest besides City. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Corky, great point. Yeah, okay. So Kevin brings up, of course, the natural point here. 3x on online groceries is an easy workaround in person for me at Publix, luckily with the CSP. Yeah. So the online groceries, have you had any success with that?
I don't have a Sapphire Preferred,
Oh,
so
okay.
luckily or sadly, I have had zero success with online groceries because I have not really shopped for groceries online. Um, but my
Yeah,
but my gold 4x in person has worked
that is
phenomenally.
nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, the gold card is hard to beat, especially if you do shop at a
Yeah.
real grocery store. And by real,
Yeah.
I mean like a Publix, at Aldi, or Whole
Yeah.
Foods if you're one of those people, the
Yeah.
whole nine
But
yards.
I am interested to hear like what this is because I mean my player two has a Sapphire Preferred and we're not together 100% of the time. So like
Yeah,
it's always an interesting topic.
yeah, exactly. So for example, the 3x on online grocery, it was kind of released as part of like a COVID situation, right? And so this was like, so everyone was kind of doing like the online pickup thing. And so like if you do like with Public specifically, and that's kind of like a Southeast kind of regional chain that's kind of expanding a little bit, they have a Instacart kind of partnership where you can do a pickup order through Instacart, and that codes as online grocery. And so my wife gets 3x membership reward points by doing that. But here's the thing: if you use this card directly in person at Publix, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, and so that's kind of frustrating. Same thing for
Mhm.
Aldi, right? Like you can do online pickup through Aldi through the app, but if you go in person, it doesn't work, and so it's kind of a weird way to go about doing it.
Mm, okay. All right.
Yeah,
So there's always a workaround. Got it. Got it.
yeah. There's always a workaround. Yeah. Dim says Chase might be in for a rude awakening with Built 2.0, especially with the Hyatt fanboys. I kind of wonder if Built 2.0 is going to break Hyatt.
So my buddy and I were actually talking about this in person probably like a month ago, but he is incredibly concerned that Hyatt is going to change how you book and the redemptions.
Yeah,
He's saying that essentially there's no way that Hyatt keeps it like this with like categories and no dynamic
right,
pricing. So this is why he's incredibly reserved with going all in on builds specifically to Hyatt because he doesn't want to invest all this time and put all his eggs in one built basket, if you will, because for
right.
him, he's in the Chase ecosystem and he uses Chase for Hyatt.
Yeah,
He's going to be using Built for Hyatt. So if there's changes in the pipeline, obviously there's nothing rumored. I don't think there's even like a single article to support any of this conversation. So please don't take what I say
no,
literally.
yeah,
But like this is just him being, Hyatt globalist forever at this point. And I think he's just very well informed. And he's just like, I don't know what the landscape of Hyatt's is going to look like. But realistically, I mean, for me, Built was in addition to Chase. So when all
mm,
this was announced, I was like, I'm imploding my American Express relationship. I'm not going to get a single card for another year. So that way my 524 status resets. And then
yeah,
I will have all the Chase cards and all the Built cards because I need United, I need Hyatt. Like, there's no better transfer partners, in my opinion.
yeah.
And then I was just like, dude, the Sapphire Reserve credits are cheeks. Like they're so bad. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I think Built, I wouldn't consider it a rude awakening for Chase. I think that would be like what Capital One is for me or what City is for you, where you use both of those ecosystems together
hmm
shamelessly.
Yeah.
And then if there's any categories that overlap, I mean, you can use the Sapphire Reserve by itself, who cares? And then you can use the built card for your food and whatever else.
Yeah.
And that way you get lounge access, you get Sapphire lounge access, priority pass, all that, without having to sacrifice too much.
Yeah, I get that. And to your point about like gardening for chase stuff, like I feel like that upgrade downgrade cycle is a great way to garden in a way that kind of still scratches that itch of like wanting to actually work for a sign up bonus, but also like not torpedoing your 524 status, at least kind of moving forward. Um,
Dude, I nuked my 524 status. Like, forget
oh
about
yeah,
torpedoes, bro.
yeah. I
There's
mean,
just a
if you,
solid question mark.
I mean, if you take a look at, and these are just the props I have on hand, but let me look at this. Like this is crazy. And I got all this. Like you know, who needs all these cards? I got a problem.
Dude, forget about Pokemon cards, man. Like, it's all about credit cards now.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna sell my used platinum cards on eBay.
there you go. Scraped
Uh,
off the numbers.
exactly. Yeah. T-Bab, Dan makes a point I resonate with. It's so much easier just to get hundreds of thousands of Amex points if you find those no lifetime language offers compared to getting other points slower just to book at 20% off. Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all about how fast you can get it, not how fast you can spend it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Dim actually brings up an interesting point. Dim says also if you can technically book Hyatt properties through the Amex travel portal, just saying. Yeah, that is
Yes.
perfectly valid. Yeah.
Yes.
Now the point redemption kind of situation is going to not be as good, right? If you use your Amex points to pay through the portal, not so hot, right? But
Hmm.
you can use that
Hmm.
FHR credit.
Yep.
And I think every single built point that I earn with Rakuten right now is going to be strictly going towards the Park Hyatt Vendôme in Paris because we're going to be staying there in our next trip. So,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, it's I think it's like 35,000 points off peak per night, and so we have
That's
about
not
two
bad
hundred
at
thousand.
all.
It's not bad. No, we have about 200,000 chase points right now, and so we're going to be kind of focusing on that. But if I can supplement
Nice.
that with built, let's do it.
Yes, please.
Exactly. I also kind of like using Amex Travel since I'm not as flexible with dates. So a base 1 cent per point and fine hotels benefits makes up for loss of value. I do think that I think they do 1 cent per point if it's fine hotels and resorts. Is that true? Uh,
Hmm.
I haven't tried that myself actually, so I may have to look into that.
I don't remember the last time I was in the actual Amex app. I think I do it at this point on a semi-annual basis where
Yeah.
I just need to make some bookings to get the 250.
Oh yeah.
So I honestly don't know. The only time I was on the travel app, which is like it's actually a pretty nice app, very seamless because logging on to Amex Travel
Yes.
and then getting the 6-factor authentication and then your
Hmm.
biometrics on top of that is just hilarious. But yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
then before they had the app, trying to do it through the Amex app because it would just open up a browser in the app, which means not saving your passwords or like it's just,
nope.
or even your credit card numbers. It was just a whole
Yep.
big thing. So I'm glad they have the app.
Hmm.
Let's see. Great job, Corky. Anthony's still here. If Built pulls off a great card with no caveats with a 1-to-1 mortgage, I likely put all spend on Built if I have no subs. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like having access to United, having access to Southwest, having access to Hyatt and Atmos. Well, are they still? They still have Atmos, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's. I get it. I definitely get it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd be interested to see like what are is Built going to stay with the commitments that they made in regards to those emails that they sent out asking people for like what would you think type of a thing.
Right.
This was before Chase and American Express completely refreshed their entire product lineup. So, I mean, I once more, I would be surprised if what they sent is what actually comes out. Like, I
Right.
feel like
Same.
off transfer partners alone, they can probably get a lot. But I mean, with those multipliers, I'm not going to Walgreens. I'm not going to CVS. Like
No.
neighborhood
Yeah.
dining, there's like 2.5 restaurants. Like it's the last thing that they need is another Chase scenario. And I think what Built saw, obviously, once more, no, this is just going off intuition, but what Built saw Chase do, I think, is what they were about to do, and I feel like they're not
Mm.
going to do that anymore.
Yeah,
So the good thing is they were like, yeah, we're gonna release the card in a year. So they have plenty of time to like get whatever legal jargon and partnerships that they have ready. But I mean, they have a solid foundation with everything else. So I mean,
they
yeah,
do.
very interested.
Yeah. Anthony then says the 2026 meetup hotel will be fire. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a great meetup, and yeah, I think you're gonna be able to go, right?
Yeah, I booked my days already, and I also
All
requested the
right,
days off. So I will be
nice.
there. And then now I just need to find a flight from San Francisco to Charleston, and that is proving to be impossible because
Oh
it's
yeah,
so expensive. Like, my goodness, man.
yeah, yeah. I was looking up because I was trying to find a way to get over to Hawaii, and I did find that there was a direct flight on Alaska once daily from Orlando to Seattle, but then I'd have to fly from Seattle into likely like LAX or somewhere. And so
Yeah.
like I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but
I think you can kind of break it into like two things. The better planes go
mm,
from Seattle or Los Angeles. The best plane goes from Los Angeles, the new one, the
okay.
Dreamliner. You can still get some pretty good products from San Francisco, but I mean, I would probably recommend flying out of Los Angeles because it has similar weather, similar climate. If you wanted to, if there's like a
Oh, that is
direct
not. Yeah.
flight from there to LA, then I would probably do that, spend like a day or so in like Santa
Hmm.
Monica or somewhere in Los Angeles, have some
Yeah.
amazing food, and then the next day just fly to Hawaii. It's like a 5 hour flight. So
Yeah.
I would probably do that. Like if you have to stop over.
Oh yeah. I loved LA last time I was there. I was there for a fundraiser at Pepperdine, and they actually put us up at the executive center up there, and it was wonderful over there. You guys know what's up.
Other
All
than the
right.
Dodgers.
Yeah. Corky Hyatt is +4 with Rakuten cards was the only direct booking with okay. Travel it gets 4 +4 with the Rakuten card. Okay, yeah. I did actually. So did recently do a rental car, and I booked it through clicking through Rakuten. I was trying to use my Rakuten card, but it just didn't have enough credit limit to actually pull that off, so I wasn't able to get that. But no, yeah, the Rakuten card could be a solid travel card. Dim says we're very strategic with cards. We get in our two-player setup. I have Biz Gold. She has personal. We're authorized users on each other's cards, etc. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I know. So some friends of ours are like that. They'll kind of like one person is focusing on Amex right now, the other is focusing on Chase, and then they're kind of gonna refer each other once they meet the second kind of level of
Yep.
everything. So
Yep.
that's a
We
great way to
call
do
it
it.
flipping the script.
Exactly. I love that. That's amazing. All right, so let's say here, if built 2.0, knowing if he offers one-to-one on mortgages with 1.5x on everything else, it will certainly be my catch-all card. Yeah, okay, so 1.5x, we're kind of okay with catch-all as long as Hyatt is in the mix, possibly Atmos, at least for
Hmm.
one. Hey, baby, I know I'll be done soon. Sadie's ready for me to be done.
Yep.
All
We got
right,
comments, man. We got comments.
I know we got comments on our comments of comments. Degasmed has I have tried to get away from Amex for 2 years. I even got my in game just set up just to get out of it. Yeah, they keep pulling me back in. Absolutely, yeah. Those offers, man, those keep
Yep.
coming. I
Yeah,
they
I
hit me
wonder
with
if that would be. Sorry, I wonder if that would be like
no, yeah,
just Amex or is it Amex and something else? But yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no. They hit me with another Blue Business Plus offer recently for what is it, 75,000. I was like, oh man,
You
I
sent me
can't.
that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I was like, must be nice.
yeah. Yeah. Well, between my wife and I, like we actually put like a decent amount of spend on some of our business cards, and so I guess that's why they continue to target us. But we've somehow managed to for Amex to think that we're profitable. I don't know how, but
I got nothing.
yeah. Degasm continues. Must say though, if you're wanting to mostly use your setup overseas, Amex will be the first thing to go entirely. Yeah. My overseas setup is strictly at Capital One. We have the Venture card, we have the Saver card, and that's the only thing I pull out when I'm in Paris or even like in the English countryside. Like that's it.
Same.
All right. Hertz, you're better off using your Greek card. Travel is only 1x on the Rakuten card. Interesting. Okay. So apparently travel has not been doing well.
Yeah, I mean it depends. There's some categories where I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago, Hyatt was like 12x, and then I would get an additional 6x with my Rakuten card. So I was almost like, yo, I'm gonna pay cash for this creator meetup so that I can get like 1 billion points right now. Um,
Yeah.
but there's definitely some categories where yeah, I mean, they're 1x. I wouldn't really consider Rakuten as like the travel type of a thing. I would
Right.
use it more of like a buffer or like a bonus where I would use like whatever the multiplier is. I would probably use like maybe my Venture X and then Expedia is at like unreasonably high, like 12x, So
Yeah.
there's a lot to go into it. But yeah, I mean, the Rakuten is just a nice auxiliary card where whether you're American Express or Built
Hmm.
now, like this in the past, this was what was keeping me in American Express, right? This is what's going to keep me in American Express. If you look at
Yeah.
the breakdown of what I pay for, I'd be surprised if less than 50% is online.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
probably
Yeah.
much higher than that. And majority of it is, don't forget the Rakuten extension. Boom.
Right.
So,
That's huge. Yeah. The Rakuten extension is huge. All right. Let's press the Anthony Adventure. Philip cloned himself to film the Discover News in the other room. Yeah, we're doing that in Studio B currently. So
exactly.
I was laughing at that. One, we are interacting with AI Philip while he films video on Discover quarterly categories. Yeah, exactly. If people
Hmm.
actually watch Discover category videos, I probably would be doing that right now.
Yep.
Uh, Don Kim says Amex versus no Amex equals Apple, iPhone, Android. Yeah, there you go.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you, man.
yeah. I was actually an Android person before I met my wife, and she turned me to an Apple person, and I am fully an Apple person. I got the Mac for the studio head. I got the iPhone doing the recording. I got my watch
Yep.
over here. I got the iPad with my script. It's
There you
awesome.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
living
there's
the
nothing wrong with Apple versus Android, but I just think it's always absolutely hilarious to see like the dynamic between the two types of customer base,
oh
where
yeah.
the first thing that they start doing is they start comparing features. They're like, "Oh, well, what's your intelligence look like? What's your photo editing look like?" And I was like, "I don't care. Like, what?
Yeah,
Leave me alone."
yeah. I will say the single worst Apple Intelligence feature is the notification summaries. Like it just completely wrong on all fronts. But anyway, they're
Yeah,
just gonna put
I
that
digress.
there. Yeah. Don Kim says agree with Daniel. TBAP, so Capital One may be joining the coupon books depending on if the
No,
Saver X rumors are true. Honestly,
no.
so when the first Saver X rumors came out, I got so excited because I was
Yeah.
like, you know what, I do get value from Capital One points. It's harder for most people to get value from Capital One points, but again, to your point, if you know the partnerships, if you know the alliances, it's easy to get good value from Capital One, and getting a
Hmm.
4x Saver would be incredible, and I'm sure it is
Yep.
for all the people that still have that.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I got excited. But again, right now I'm so deep in Amex that I don't even know if the Saver X, if I would actually like spend on it past the sign up bonus. Like I'd still get it, but I don't know if I'd spend on it.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, what I would do if I was in anyone else's shoes, where it's just like tough to leave the system, I would just use their shopping portals. Like, I
Yeah.
got 40,000 Capital One miles deposited into my account because like 2 months
Wow.
ago, there was an offer for Marriott where they were doing 7x
Oh
um,
yeah.
in Capital One's little
Mm-hmm.
offer portal. So I canceled every single booking that my girlfriend had for work, and then I just used the Capital One extension or the portal to go into Marriott, and then I just rebooked the exact same way using my Marriott business card. I got
Right.
like I think in total. it was probably close to about 100,000 Marriott points from the base spend and all the multipliers. And I
Yeah.
totally forgot about the Capital One thing. So when I checked my account the other day, I had almost 50,000 points. I was like, wait, I don't remember popping a referral in the Discord. And then it was from
Yeah.
all the Marriott stays. And I was just like, Jesus, like
Hmm.
this is wild. Like when it comes to things that you really know you're going to spend on, whether it's whatever ecosystem, I think this is where shopping portals
Yeah.
are just so nice.
Oh yeah, Amex offer or not Amex offer, sorry, Capital One offers are actually really kind of goaded right now. Like the
Yeah.
multipliers are kind of insane. Like I think I go through them for my newsletter every Friday and sign up in the link in the description below. And they have like I think there was one where they have like for Walmart it was like 4 or 5x just for Walmart. Like there wasn't a limitation this time, and
Yeah.
like something crazy like that. And so like they do have some really great multipliers. And the fun fact is I actually most of the time when I get my Capital One offers, I don't actually use a Capital One card. I just go through the link. And so like
Mhm.
I'm still earning on my sign up bonus. I'm still earning like whatever I actually want. And then I'm also getting the Capital One points. And so those are nice too. So
Yeah, Marriott
yeah.
points. It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Corky, I truly believe high-end cards are hoping you only have one high-end card to take market share. Absolutely, yeah. And I think that Chase is losing that game. I think that's why they keep throwing out the 100,000 points and more, now. And I think they're just not getting as many signups as they kind of hoped they would.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right, Don Barry, my current setup is Amex Platinum Travel and Robinhood Gold Card Catch-All. I wish Amex did 2x for everything. That would be nice. Yeah. The gold card is nice. Again, I don't use it that much, but I have it. So,
Clang it. Clang it.
all right, let's see. Oh, that didn't do anything. All right, let's see if I.
No. Is it plastic?
It's bonded. So it's like it's actually very
Oh,
similar to the Ritz card. So there's metal on the front,
okay.
and then it's kind of like a plasticky kind of back. And the thing that kind of sucks is
Mm.
if you drop it, like it chips very easily. And this is the one
Oh
that's like it
man.
costs $50 to replace. So that's fun. Which one
I'm
was that?
sorry. $50 to replace.
Yeah, it's
No.
stupid. Yeah, the Coastal Community Bank, they have literally the worst systems. Like if you have to do a dispute on one of your charges on the Robinhood Gold Card, do you know what you have to do?
Mm-mm.
You have to send a snail mail to a PO box for Coastal Community Bank, and then wait for them to open it, read it, decide to do something about it, and then maybe they'll reach out with an email address that you can contact. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Damn.
that's the Robinhood Gold Card.
Meanwhile, I can just do anything I want in the Chase app or the American Express app.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
It's so much better to do it with Amex. Which like I mean maybe that's a bad like society thing like we need to be concerned about. It's too easy just to do a chargeback, but I mean
Yeah.
it's good if it's legitimate, you know.
Yep.
Dim says Amex basically saved Lulu. I'd imagine they came to Amex. Yeah, I would say their marketing budget is actually pretty profound, and so like them actually, I would fully believe that they are fully funding the Lululemon credit because
Yep.
when I think about it, like I've gotten 2 pairs of pants, and those pairs of pants were worth 120, 130. And $75 off of that, like I'm still spending money that I wouldn't have with Lulu. So,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
you know. And then Anthony says Virgin Cruises. Yeah, Virgin Cruises are awesome. Jeb, what's his last name? He does a bunch of travel videos on YouTube, and he just released his video about Virgin,
Yeah.
and it's a good one. It's a really good watch. I had it going in my AirPods while I was putting up my Christmas lights this morning.
Perfect.
Yeah, Edinburgh is awesome. Thank you so much, Dem. Hopefully, I'll enjoy it. 1.9 cent per point on Delta One is one of the highest redemptions I've been able to find through Delta from Atlanta to Brazil. They're getting better. Yeah, Delta is actually not bad. Who was it? It was Kirby last night. He was telling me that it's easier to find Delta One from Europe to the United States. And I looked at it, and there was like I think it was like maybe 150,000 Delta points or something. I wasn't able to find anything better than that just off of like a really quick search. But it's not bad, if you're
Yeah.
looking if you have the points to burn.
Yeah, I think with the 10% back with the gold or platinum or reserve card, I think it just makes it even sweeter.
Yeah.
The one thing that's misleading about Delta is they have main basic, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
you can do points for main basic. I'm just like, wow, it's only 25,000 points, and then I look at it and it's like, you don't get to pick your seat, you don't get to
Right.
cancel, you don't get to do anything, and I'm like,
And let's just
oh,
say,
I
yeah,
should, yeah,
yeah, not being able to pick your
big
seat
cat,
is code for you're sitting in the middle.
yeah, bitch seat, sorry.
Yeah.
Damn, that just brought
Uh,
me back.
Corky says underrated Rakuten hack using Expedia thing to do get 3x to 10x back on theme park tickets. That is awesome. I have a data point on the theme. The last theme park tickets I bought was Disneyland Paris, and I used the Saver card thinking that entertainment was going to code, and it didn't. So I only got 1x on that one, which kind of sucked. But
Yeah,
it always
Raku
sucks when that
Haku.
happens. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Anthony Fincher says that's great. Yeah, the green card is also a good one too. Oh, Oscar, am I the only one who doesn't value Air Canada? Every United flight has insane taxes and fees on top of not so great point values. Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. Now that I think about it, so Air Canada is great for booking United, for those of you that don't know, except maybe it's not so great because I was looking at a couple flights for my father in law from Orlando to Dulles. And if you book United, it can be as low as 5 to 6,000 United points, or it could be 15,000 Air Canada points. Now, if you don't have United points, then
Yeah.
you got to do the Air Canada thing. But yeah, like I'd much rather spend 5 or 6,000 United points or Chase points than 15,000 Capital One points. So you know
Yeah, I
that
would
can be
look into
frustrating.
Avianca. I'll look into Avianca
Yeah,
to be honest.
that's true. Yeah,
Um, all of my United flights have been booked with Avianca, believe it or not.
nice.
Air Canada is great. I mean, it's good to have some type of currency, but like their taxes and fees are always just outrageous, where Avianca is not. Avianca also always has like a consistent transfer bonus where it's just like
Right.
transfer miles to us, we'll give you an extra 15%. Don't even matter.
Yeah.
Um,
And then plus you get,
so
I think, what, 10% savings if you sign up for their little monthly like Avianca membership thing.
yep,
So
yep.
that's nice too.
So I think it's just great to have like alternatives like this, but
Right.
sometimes it could be very bittersweet. So
Yeah. And the one thing I will say about Air Canada too is like Air Canada Metal internationally, it's not a bad points deal, but it kind of sucks because you got to transfer to two airports in Canada. So at least from the United States, you have to go to, I forgot what the other one is, but there's two. You have to go to one and then you have to go to the other one because that's where they do their international flights from. And so it's like, okay, that
interesting.
just, yeah, every point redemption I've seen from Air Canada has been at least like two connections. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
Thought I
exactly.
was going crazy. Like, what is this?
LG is here. Thanks so much for being here. Hey, fellas, when and how often can you do the upgrade downgrade with American Express? So I actually haven't done the downgrade yet. I just did some upgrades. So I think you have to, when you take the upgrade, when you finally get it to the platinum card, you can't downgrade it for at least, the next card member year, I think, right? Or is that off base?
Correct. Yeah, they'll claw
Okay.
back the points.
Yeah. But you can
As
upgrade. Like, yeah.
yeah, as far
So,
as when you can do it, you can do whatever you want. The only like strict rule of thumb is if you're in your first card member year, make sure
mhm.
to downgrade after that first year so that they don't claw back points.
Yeah.
But after your first card member year, you can downgrade any moment you want. It doesn't matter. They don't care. You can
Right.
upgrade within 24 hours after that with an upgrade offer. The only thing is just like what we talked about earlier, where are you okay with resetting your benefits? Is it going to be a pain
Right.
in the butt to reset your benefits? I would always ask for a retention offer first, but
Yeah.
upgrade and downgrade offers typically they're always naturally a little bit better, but it's just less work involved because retention offers, you just say, "Hey, I want to cancel my card," and they're like, "No, please don't do it. We'll give you 30,000 points." And if they don't do it, then downgrade, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And the last time I called for a retention offer was actually on my Chase Southwest Priority card. I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. And they were like, oh, we'll just waive the fee. And I was like, yeah, sure. I'll take that.
say less.
Yeah. All right. Corky said noted. Let's see. All right. And then Oscar says, I see. Thanks. I was just curious. As I live near a United hub and thought I might be able to find cheap domestic flights through AC. Yeah. Air India is actually an interesting one. So if you have a Mesa card, it transferred to Air India and you can get United flights for as low as 5,000 points. And so that is nice.
Yeah, but then you just need to run the risk of like dying. So
Well, it is still going to be on the United metal, but yeah.
okay, fine. That's
yeah.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
No way.
So Altitude Connect is awesome for those unfamiliar with travel cards / benefits. Wondering when the inevitable nerf knowing U.S. Bank. Yeah, it depends. It really depends on how much they've actually, kind of exposed themselves to that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they won't give me a card at all.
Nope. I got the Smartly, and then they nerfed it literally right after.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
great. Thanks.
Did you at least get grandfathered in or no?
Negative.
Bummer. Yeah. That sucks.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't use the card.
Oh, Anthony says this Tesla is actually named Marshmallow. So, or
No, it's
Marshmallow.
not. He was literally telling me, like, not even, well, I mean, at this point, a little while ago, it's Tessica.
Tessica. Yeah.
It's me, Tessica.
Oh man, that's amazing. No, Mike Neal says I was thinking Ghostbusters. Yeah, that's amazing. LG, our Oscar is also curious about the specifics on the upgrade downgrade thing. I watched Cesar Joel's vids, and it seems like you can downgrade to green when annual fee hits, and within days upgrade to gold / platinum. Yeah, so when my platinum fee will hit in, I think, February, and so I'm definitely going to do the whole call them and then downgrade to green and then kind of figure out, because I do have my gold card that used to be my green. So I could just upgrade that to the platinum card and then upgrade my green card back to my gold card. But it's
Exactly.
it's musical chairs. Yeah. Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah. So real quick, we can continue running through these chats. I just want to make sure that you're good if we go a little long today, or if you want to
Yeah,
call it, we
we're
can
good.
call it. Yeah. Okay. All right, cool.
We're good.
Kevin, the Publix online grocery workaround is where I save my CSP in the Publix app. Okay, that's when I check out in person at Publix. I open the app and pay by scanning a QR code. Works for 3x. Okay, so you can actually use it in store. You just have to pay through the app. Okay, well that's good to know. It's still frustrating.
All
but
right.
it's good to know. Yeah.
I mean, as long as they make it easy, like if you could scan
Yeah.
a QR code and pay in the app, that's fine. But if you got to do like 360 no scopes, to buy groceries, like no thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, sir. I use that easy workaround for the 9 months where this Chase Freedom Flex isn't 5x on groceries. Yeah, that's solid. Okay, and then Dem does 5x groceries with the City Custom Cash or the 4x Gold, or you can 5% cash back with a PayPal debit card. How many people do we have on the PayPal debit card? No, anybody? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, all right.
Me, I don't use it.
Oh yeah, no, me neither. I have it, and I was like, it looks pretty. I don't know. Like I'm still where I would prefer to get points than cash back, and so I think that's kind of just where
Yep.
I'm at.
I told my
Don
dad
Kim-
to get it, and he got
Yeah,
the
sorry.
credit card instead of the debit card. I almost,
Oh
I
no.
almost lost it.
Oh no. I was actually talking
like,
to one of my clients recently, and they said they accidentally applied for it was either the PayPal or the Venmo credit card. I forgot which one. And I was like, yeah, it's easy to do. They make it really easy. They're like, hey, you want this little card? Every time I open my credit card map, they're like, you really need a PayPal credit card, don't you?
Yeah. No, I don't.
No, yeah, exactly. Okay, so Corky has a nice confirmation. It is 1 cent per point for fine hotels. I got three nights at Cosmopolitan for 68,000. Okay, That is good to know. I'm glad to hear that. It'd be nice if it was a little bit
It's
more,
not bad.
but we'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Don Kim says, in Park Hyatt Vendôme is one of the nicest hotel pins, and you are into collecting hotel pins in addition to cards. Okay. Fun fact. So my wife and I, we went to Palm Beach recently this summer, and we actually stayed in West Palm Beach at the Canopy Hotel. But we ended up eating at Henry's, so name for Henry Flagler, and they actually are part of the Breakers kind of resort community. And so I stole the server's pen from the Breakers, so I have a Breakers pen. So yeah, I've started a collection.
Dude, if it's got a nice pen, I mean, yeah, please get me one too while you're there. Seems-
Absolutely, yeah. I'll just be bringing a bunch of pens. I'll have a bag just for the pens I'm going to bring home
You're
with
gonna
me.
be
So,
going off on in airport security. They're gonna be like, "What are you doing?"
yeah, no, I'm totally not smuggling pens. It's fine. James Wynn saying hotel meetup. Yeah.
Tell me to, yeah.
Dim Cork J. Yes, when 1x in redeeming, 5x earned when paying cash with your platinum card. Yeah. So you do have to pay the cash rate. You can't do even like so. One of the things that I've always kind of wondered about doing, and I haven't done yet, is when you are booking a hotel, it gives you the pay in 6 months or pay in 12 months, depending on the cost of it. And I always thought about doing that. I just never pulled the trigger because you're giving up the 5x, plus you're also paying a charge for that service. So, I haven't really seen it actually make sense for me yet, but you do have some options. Oh no, by Boggies. There we go. I was just rejected. 112725 applied for Amex Gold. The reason why the average credit limit on all your accounts is too low. Interesting. Number two, the length of
Huh.
time is too short since the first account on your credit. Okay. So one
Oh,
thing that I've noticed is a lot of the time when they give you the list, a lot of people are saying that it's actually the bottom one is the reason. And so like for instance, like they'll say like when they talk about me, they're like, oh, you're using too much credit, and then it's like, oh, you have too many inquiries. And so I think that the second one usually probably, or at least the last one, is usually the most accurate. Is
hmm.
that something you've seen?
Yeah, no, I would say every single chase one, the last one is you have too many inquiries, and I am just so far beyond 524. I don't
Yeah.
think, so yeah, no, I think that's really good insight. And it also depends on like what Boggy's journey looks like. If we're new into the game, like if we just started in credit cards, I don't think American Express wants to touch that. They don't really
Yeah.
have entry level cards, if you will. Um, it depends on why we want to go American Express, but yeah.
Right. And then he continues.
Oh, there's the third one.
Yeah, there's the third one. In our estimation, the amount you have paid on your bank and retail credit cards accounts over the last 12 months is too low. Okay. So my credit score is 752, my credit year, 3 years. So it sounds to
Huh.
me like if number three is the reason, they're saying they believe you've been carrying a balance on too many cards, maybe? Is that how you're reading that too? Or
The amount you have paid on your English.
yeah,
Let's see. Uh, yeah, I guess maybe you're just not spending enough, therefore you're not paying off enough. I don't know. That's
could be.
maybe.
Yeah, it
Are
could
you
be one
just
of those
paying
two things.
minimum payments? Are you just paying minimum? Is that what's happening? Um, or
Yeah.
are we running it up? But I mean, it says the balance is too low, so I don't think that we have like a problem of like maxing out our credit cards. But maybe there's just like $500 limits. Like when I first started at Bank of America, they gave me $500 limits on my card. There
Yeah.
was a couple other cards where it was only 500, 250, 1,000, things like that. So
Mhm.
maybe start with other cards. I mean, I think everybody in the world at this point recommends starting with Chase specifically because of the
Yeah,
524 rule. But if you don't
absolutely.
care about Chase and will never care about Chase, then maybe start with Capital One instead, and
Yeah.
then work your way up to American Express.
Capital One is where I started, and they got me with the platinum card first, which was my very first card, and I was an absolute idiot with it, and so I actually ended up becoming a charge off, and I eventually paid it off, and that's actually off my credit score now. But I was an idiot about that. But then they turn around, even with all that, they gave me the Quicksilver card a couple years later, and then now they're giving me like I have like 5,000 on my Venture, and then I have like 4,000 on my Saver card. So it's Capital One is very forgiving if you mess up with them. They want to
Yeah.
keep you if they think you're gonna mess up again, which is
Yeah, he's gonna go to American Express. Don't let him go.
yeah, exactly. Okay. T-Bab here. How many cards are part of your upgrade downgrade strats? Are you doing it on the biz cards too? Yeah, I definitely probably will be, honestly, with the biz cards because I originally was just going to straight cancel my biz gold and my biz platinum, but I definitely want to at least keep my business gold card. Maybe my business
Yep.
platinum. We'll see.
My answer is simply and very plainly, they're all up for grabs. There's no card that is safe when it comes to the
Yeah.
upgrade downgrade strategy. The account still remains open, which is amazing. So
Right.
you don't have to worry about like closing an account or anything like that. They just product change it for you. So I currently have a green, gold, two platinums. They're all on the chopping block next year. I have a business gold. I don't see, for me personally, I don't see the point of upgrading to a business platinum because I've never had a business platinum yet,
Oh yeah.
unless I get
Yeah.
like, a no lifetime language mailer, which is sitting on my desk right now. But
There you go.
I can't justify having a business platinum right now, not when I have two personal platinums. But maybe
Yeah.
next year when I start pruning and start canceling things, I can definitely see myself having a business platinum and a personal platinum, and then playing the same game that you are, where it's upgrade downgrade, no card is safe. So
Yeah. Awesome. Jonathan, thanks so much for being here. I'm in Spain now, and my Capital One dynamic duo is the Shiznit. No issues. Thankfully, Amex and Discover are fairly accepted here in Barcelona. That's great. Yeah, awesome. So it's Capital One for my travel duo, absolutely hands down, amazing. No foreign transaction fees, just no issues whatsoever.
yep.
Fun fact: if you are actually Team Cashback, I don't know what I did with it, but the Robinhood Gold card is actually not bad. So that has no foreign transaction fees too. It is a Visa signature card, which means it actually gets like if you're doing rental cars overseas, you do still get the primary CDW. You do still get some nice little protections. So the Robinhood Gold card is not a bad international card either. So, but you got to be Team Cashback.
Team $50 to replace.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. All right. So we are
Sorry,
kind
that's
of
crazy. Yeah.
yeah. So we are starting to finally catch up with the comments. Thanks so much, everybody. You are amazing. I do want to go ahead and if you do have any other comments, or questions, you definitely want to make sure we cover. Please put it in the chat now, and then we'll make sure we get there. But yeah, we will start kind of eyeing towards the end because, well, Sadie
Mhm.
I know is raring to go on another walk, so I gotta listen to my puppy. So
Yep.
Oscar, if it came down to it, if I could only travel, I only have one travel card and stick to one ecosystem, I will happily go with Amex. As much as I love the Venture X, I can't get outsized value year over year as I can with Amex. That's an interesting point. Yeah.
My Robert De Niro look.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. I've gotten 8 cents per point on an Air France redemption. And granted, of course, that's covering the only the one-way cash value of those business class seats. But we got $8,000 worth of travel for 100,000 points, which is like that's of course, we're going to do it. Now, could I have used Capital One for those, Air France redemptions? Yeah. But the fact of the matter is that I found that flight through the free Point Me or the Point Me site with American Express. I used my American Express points for it, and so in my mind that will always be an American Express redemption, and just it goes up from there. So my voice is starting to go. Oscar, I'm in year one with Amex Gold, definitely downgrading when the annual fee hits. I can't justify the gold year over year. Just got it for the 100,000 before I go for the plat. Okay. All right. So the Amex Gold just too much. I got to say there's a lot of places in America where that is kind of the norm. It's hard to use some of those credits.
Yeah, I mean, look at your American Express app and see how many points you've gotten from food. Because
Yeah.
if you use your American Express card for food and it's what, like if you do the math, $325 is 32,000 points. So you need to spend $8,000 a year on food. I feel
Yeah,
like food and groceries. I feel like that is incredibly attainable, especially in today's economy. I'd be
it is.
surprised if there's someone that does not spend somewhere close to that. But then you'll also get the Uber Eats, you'll also get the Resi and things like that. But I feel like majority of people can actually just get back their everything with just natural spend, and that's if you equate it to a 1 to 1, Mr. Air France 1 to 8 cents per point. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's like that 1 to 1 is like a very unrealistic kind of ratio that people just like throw. But like if you look at an average American Express, I think the number now is what, like 1.8 or like 2 at this point.
yeah.
Um, as far as redemption, so you don't even need to spend 8,000, you spend 4,000 and then you get your money back. So like,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it is great. And fun fact about the gold card too, if you are paying for flights, this gets 3x on flights, and it also gets 3x on hotels or 2x on hotels through the portal. But then every once in a while, whenever I've booked a hotel through it, there's like where they do like a special bonus, it's actually 3x back. And so, officially it's 2x, but you can get 3x on hotels through the portal. And so, the Amex Gold Card, it can be a solid travel card for you, honestly. But again, if you're not using the credits, if you're not spending enough on it, then yeah, you got to go where you got to go. And Oscar, thanks so much. I appreciate you bringing up those awesome questions. We loved having those great discussions. Dim says Breaker is right by my house. Okay, yeah, I forget that you're over there, Dim. I should have reached out, done
Hmm.
an impromptu meetup. Blue size submarine. Yeah, hopefully I'm saying that. I got approved for the Delta Business Gold, 90,000 miles for $4,000 in spend. However, they reallocated 10,000 from my Amazon Prime's 22,000 credit limit. Any thoughts? Thanks so much, gentlemen. Interesting. Okay, so they didn't deny you; they just took away some of your credit limit from one card and put it on another card.
Hmm.
Do you have any reactions?
I mean, I've never heard of American Express doing that. I know Chase does that. You can
Yeah,
essentially message them, I want less credit here so that I could do more credit here. I'm getting denied, so I'm gonna call to reconsider so you could reduce my credit and then I could apply and then we'll be fine. This is probably the first time I've seen American Express do something like that.
yeah,
But I would personally rather have that than get hit with like, paperwork that you have to fill out to like verify income, or just like a flat
yeah.
out denial where you're like, they're just like, nope, sorry. And then they just give you the 4.5 bullet points and then you got to figure out what's next. Um,
Right.
so I think
Yeah.
for me, it doesn't make a huge difference, but I'm also not a business owner. So for me, putting large purchases on my cards is very few and far between. However, I do have my best friend Ryan owns his own business, and he's talking about how he dropped like $35,000 in like 2 days, $50,000 in a month, where like the
Wow.
credit limit on the cards like really do make a difference. So I
Hmm.
think that's kind of where my head's at, where it's like it depends on, are you using this for like large business purchases? If the answer is yes, then I'd probably be freaking out a little bit. Like, how am I going to run my business?
Right.
Or
Yeah.
if it's just something where I'm okay with it because I don't need to make $20,000 purchases at any given moment, then I'd totally be fine with it. But also at the end of the day, if it's a charge card, then it kind of doesn't matter because that's just your pay over time limit. Like
Right.
you could spend way more than what your pay over time limit is as long as you pay it off, at the end of every statement. So I think it
In
kind of
full
depends
and
on
on
where
time by the due date.
automatically.
Yeah.
So I think it just kind of it depends on like where this person is, where Bluey Submarine is, as far as like, is this for business? Do we need a business card that puts like an ungodly amount of money on it? If so,
Hmm.
then I wonder why we got the Delta Business Gold instead of the like Business Platinum, where you just get like $1 million pay over time for nothing, where you
That
can
is true.
transfer to Delta. So that's where my head's at.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's yeah, solid. it either matters or it doesn't, right? If you are using that credit line for the Amazon Prime card, then yeah, getting 10,000 less if you're using it for business, spend, large business spend on a monthly business, then
Mhm.
that could be a problem. But I would much rather get the new sign up bonus than not, especially with not having to pay that annual fee for the first year on that card, which is really nice. So I'm definitely there too. All right, T-Bab, if you don't like the gold, you could downgrade to the green, and I think get a 30,000 MR for 1,000 spend to upgrade back. Yes, exactly. So the if you have the gold card, yeah, you can downgrade to the green, and then the standard upgrade offer is 30,000 points for 1,000 spend. I think they give you 6 months to do that $1,000 in spend too. So it's
Yeah.
pretty much a gimme, honestly, at that point. Just give me the
Yeah.
points. Yeah. And Mike's still here. Thanks so much for being here, Mike. I appreciate you. You guys are super kind, fielding all these questions. Yeah, these are some awesome, really great questions. That's one of the things I love about these office hours things is we get a lot of really great questions.
Mhm.
Adrian Estrada. I love business gold card so far. Halfway through the sub, got it 3 weeks ago. Absolutely, yeah. Business gold card.
Damn.
Yeah. It's yeah, that's a lot of spend. We actually ended up taking almost the full 3 months to get the sign up bonus for that one, but we got the 15,000, so we had to spend 5,000 a month, which was a bit of a stretch. But we went on an international trip during that time, and that helped out a little bit.
Yeah.
And fun fact about the business gold card is if you actually get it with the offer, you get that 6 month 0% APR. So you can kind of carry balance for a little bit to help you with that. I don't recommend going above your spending capacity, but if you do have a large purchase, like if you're going to get a new MacBook or something like that, that's the card you want to put it on,
Mm,
if you can.
good to know.
Yeah. All right, Oscar, right, that's right. I'm going to do that. But yeah, if it wasn't for that hack, I wouldn't keep the gold. Yeah, fair. Plus, if I want the black, that hack is complicated with two Amex cards. It is, yeah. I have two Amex cards right now, and so like if I were to downgrade my platinum to the green, then the upgrade offer would probably be on my gold card, and so it
Mhm.
would be a completely kind of reversal, which would be again frustrating because I'd have to re-enroll in the priority pass and the whole 9 yards. So that is kind
Yep.
of frustrating. Dim says I did two biz gold subs this year. Love it. Nice. I'm actually thinking about doing another no lifetime language gold if it comes up because my wife and I are going to have to make the second baby deposit sometime in December or January, and so we're going to anticipating that to be like an additional $30,000. So that's going to be fun.
That is
So
hefty.
yeah, all those lawyers, man, they take the
Good
money.
Lord.
Yeah.
Good lawyered.
I know, right? Yeah. All right.
Australia.
Well, that is finally come up to the end of the discussion. Thanks so much, everyone. I appreciate you being here for 2.5 hours. And we're still at 55 people watching on the live stream. I think we got up to like mid 60s, honestly, today.
There you go.
They're here for Daniel. They're here for the Card Smarter. It's
It has to
it's
be.
awesome. Yeah.
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Awesome. Automatic, definitely. Yeah. I do want to talk about J Rod's becoming a YouTube member. Thanks so much. And thanks so much for asking everybody to like and subscribe earlier. I appreciate you. And then he also, did the super chat. Come on, people, press like and subscribe. Thank you. And then, of course, Final Cover had that awesome question. And again, if you or literally anyone else in this chat is looking for kind of ways to, like, even if you don't want to talk about credit cards, if you'd like to talk about ways to kind of maximize travel and talk about that sort of thing, I do have that kind of consultation available on my website as well. And so I definitely want to make sure I mention that. And again, for all of the people that are here, please make sure that you go to @CardSmarter on YouTube and make sure you subscribe because, well, Daniel's amazing and he continues to be amazing even if he's not on this channel. So, you should learn from him then as well. So, thanks so much for being here, Daniel. I really appreciate you. You are incredible. And thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks everybody for tuning in, listening in. It was a great 2.5 hours.
Yeah. All right. We're going to cut it out now. Thanks so much.